You can say
Before
it.
we
In 1968, George Romero brought us Night of the Living Dead. It became the classic horror film of its time. Now, George Romero brings us the most intensely shocking motion picture experience for all times. Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead contains scenes of violence that may be considered shocking. No one under 17 will be admitted.
The blackest eyes. The devil's eyes.
You will suffer an eternity for this. When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk here.
I love that little clicking sound that they have because you hear the zombies at the doors of the mall. And I think that I had a hard time picking out like some. I always like a quippy little thing at the end of our intros, but I couldn't help myself. I thought that was the best one because it's the tagline of the movie.
Sure. Of course.
When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth as is such. It is George Romero's Dawn of the Dead from 1978/79, depending on your viewpoint of when it really came out. But
It was released on New Year's.
totally. It could have been worse. It could have been on Groundhog Day or no, February 29th, a leap year. Could have been a leap year, baby. That could have been even worse.
I told my son today that we changed his birthday from tomorrow to February 30th.
How cruel.
Yep.
Mm,
I mean, if
yeah.
he was old enough to get it.
He's not. So anyway, he's just kind of like, oh, I guess I'll wait. Anyway, yeah.
Aw, well, he deserves double presents now.
So this they weren't sure what year they wanted this to get released.
Well, it was ready in 78 and they did international debuts like at Cannes Film Festival and whatnot. In 79, it actually got officially released in America.
And this was 10 years later.
There were cons in 78.
The Cannes Film Festival.
Oh,
Mediterranean.
Cannes Film Festival. Got it.
I
I
call
thought
it
it was
the
like a
Cannes
convention.
Film Festival.
I thought it was.
I
a
believe
convention.
the initial version that played at Cannes is like the director's cut, and he truncated it. He went back in there and snipped some stuff out because he wanted to. Romero. And, yes, because he
according to disc 2
yes.
of my Blu-ray from who the hell is this?
Vinegar Syndrome.
Second.
No,
Sight.
this is not Vinegar Syndrome. This is
Second Sight.
See, Addison knows. He knows it's
I have that too.
shit, I should know this.
Yeah, you're holding it, and Addison's trying to tell you. Listen, Jeff. Listen to the man.
You
Second
can
Sight.
educate me, please.
Second
Universal.
Sight, United Kingdom.
No, this is not United Kingdom. This is shit. God damn it.
For real.
I trust Addison. I trust Addison's.
As you should.
I was
Second
so
Sight.
surprised.
This is the second Sight regular
Jeff,
edition.
Damn it! The man tried to scream it over and over.
Sweet.
I have yet to watch the other editions of this. I gave my dad like the old DVD set like years ago when I first watched this because we'll get into like first watches and okay, I'll be the one to start that off. Like where I first watched this was the old Anchor Bay DVD set that had like the 2 different cuts on there. And I gave it to my dad and we ended up watching like all of them, including the old like public domain Night of the Living Dead. We never watched Day of the Dead because nobody could find a really good copy of that. That wasn't terrible VHS quality. But you know, I watched this with my dad and Night of the Living Dead back then. And my dad thought, like, this was freaking awesome because we watched, I don't know which cut it was, to be honest with you, but I want to say it was probably the extended cut, the Cannes cut, because when I was watching this, I watched the theatrical cut. And they're all 4K discs. And there's also an Argento cut on here that I really want to check out.
Mm.
And I'm like, I know he was producer and he did his own little sort of thing for international versions. And so I'm going to want to check that out. But
Yeah, the
years
Argento,
ago,
the Argento cut is missing anything that's like comedic or satirical. It's a more
Thank you.
straightforward horror film, and because that's just it's truncated down to like 90 minutes. So
Does it
all
just
of,
change
Oh,
a lot of
wow.
the music?
a lot of the music's changed too.
So they
A lot
don't
of-
do the Monty Python music in there?
No, a lot of that stuff
Come
got replaced
on.
by either repeated Goblin score or just other music. So yeah, Argento went back in there
Oh,
and
wow.
yeah, he cut up his own version. But that was initially that was part of the initial deal. Like when Argento came to Romero with the budget, he was like, you know, you can do your version, but then you deliver me the movie and I get to do what I want with it. So that wasn't a surprise or anything. That wasn't like a gotcha thing. It was more that was the deal.
It's like a
hey,
very-
he did a Dino De
I mean,
Laurentiis
okay.
sort of style.
Kind of. Basically, you know, you turn in your cut and then I'll go in there and I'll cut out what I want and release the version in, you know, Italy, but it's not going to be humorous. It won't have any comedy. It won't have any satire. It's a straightforward horror film.
I kind of want to
Yeah.
see that just to know how.
I'm going to do that after our stream tonight then. Damn it.
Kind of, yeah.
So actually, too, what's interesting about the Argento cut is that, you know, by removing a lot of the comedic elements and some of the funnier satire, he went back into like that extended director's cut and took moments from that version and put it in his version. So even though there's stuff missing in the Argento cut, it still features stuff that isn't in the theatrical cut. It's from the director's cut. So it's all over the place.
Man, we need a flow chart for this at this point.
No, it makes me want to watch them all kind of back to back and compare them and see which one I like the most. I like some of the comedy here. I wouldn't want to necessarily lose it.
Yeah, like the pie fight I think is gone. I think the pie fight's gone. I think the Muzak is gone. I think you know,
Dude, the pie fight was funny.
Right, yeah, but I mean, for Argento,
I think you'd have to cut Tom Savini entirely because he makes me laugh.
Oh my god!
Every time he's on screen.
He had a great death though.
Yeah, it's just
Tom
looks,
Savini is just
strung
one of
out.
the most pleasant people in horror. Like he truly is. Anytime I see him on film, I'm smiling.
No, he used to get a bad reputation back in the day as like a bad guest at conventions and stuff. But I've met the guy a couple of times and I've gotten my Day of the Dead signed, but I've never had a bad run-in with him. I just think that maybe like, you know, 20 years ago or something, or 30 years ago, you know, he was maybe a little bit grumpier. I don't know. Or somebody just like asked him a bad question. It was because the Night of the Living Dead remake, it was a sore subject for a really long time. And
I don't know. Did people not like that?
Well, no, it was more the remake that he did is not really the version that he like signed up for, like that
Correct.
he agreed to.
Oh,
Funding got pulled, and so the version that exists now is like a fraction of what he like intended to do. They actually released a whole book. There's a book right now out that is like a graphic novel of all of his storyboards for the original production.
Oh,
And
wow.
so much of that stuff was never even shot. I mean, they made the storyboards, but then Romero stepped in and was like, you only have so much money, you only have so much time, so that's got to go, that's got to go, that's got to go. So then some stuff just never even made it past the storyboard phase. But you can buy the book and you can look at the storyboards and, you know.
If you flip through it real fast, it moves.
Sure, there you go.
Addison, have you heard about the new 4K steelbook for the remake that came out from Sony that nobody can get their freaking hands on, that apparently has a cut closer to what he wanted?
There's minor differences. It's not a huge. It's really not. I think they hyped it up. Yeah, they hyped it up because I have it and I watched it about a month ago.
And I missed out on that.
No, you can get it. Maybe just Jeff.
No. I pre-ordered it as soon as I saw the pre-order like 3 months ago. I was just like, well, there's no way I'm gonna like not get this. But no, they went.
I
back
tried.
in-
I got canceled on.
Canceled on. Oh really? Oh, like Like,
but I got my Freddy box set apparently somehow.
I was gonna say, don't let him make you fucking feel bad about that. Tell him about the box set.
That's all right. You win in the Freddy department then, because I couldn't get one of those.
Yeah.
See, you win some, you lose some.
But
I'm ordering the Ninja box set.
The only stuff they really put back in that Night of the Living Dead remake was like a couple of headshots, you know, like stuff they cut out. But it's still not. It's not like packed to the gills with gore and deleted scenes. I mean, it's the same movie, just a couple of extra head hits. Yeah. And the beginning of the movie is now black and white, kind of up until the cemetery sequence.
Oh, right.
To evoke the original. And then slowly it transitions to color. And now you're into the remake.
Yeah. I like that.
That was Savini's original. Artistic. That's what he wanted to do back in the day, but Sony just said, or Columbia TriStar was like, we're not releasing a movie where the first 5 minutes is black and white because people are going to freak out. So they just didn't do that.
Yeah, right.
Fucking morons.
They
tried that with The Wizard of Oz and everyone hated it.
There's a style to things. Like Savini wasn't exactly wrong with trying to do that, to bridge the old generation to the new generation.
Yeah. It was an artistic, a creative choice, but they just wouldn't let him do it. So for this 4K release, they let him do it. But there's still there's not a whole lot of missing gore. I mean, it's all of like 13 seconds of additional gore. It's not.
But then was the original was filmed in color, and have they then digitally decolorized it?
They must have.
I don't like that. That usually almost never looks good. No, I understand. It's just the first 5 minutes. But if he had been able to do it from the beginning, he would have used.
Oh, we lost him.
Exactly, Maynard.
At least it wasn't my internet this time. I assumed it was mine.
That's okay. Now, while we're waiting for Rob to come back around, Addison, so what was your first experience with like Dawn of the Dead? Did you catch this on VHS tape? You catch this on TV? What was your first experience with Dawn of the Dead?
My first experience was my dad took me to the video store when I was like 10. He didn't even know the name of the movie. He just knew that there was a zombie movie somewhere on the shelf that featured a scene where a zombie gets his head cut off by a helicopter blade. But he didn't know which zombie movie it was. And so by mistake, he rented me The Return of the Living Dead, thinking it was Dawn of the Dead. But to his credit, I love that movie too. But I just kept waiting and waiting and waiting. Like, when's this helicopter scene going to happen? When it's going to, when are we going to do this?
There was a helicopter scene of some sorts with Linnea Quigley going dancing.
Helicopter.
The tathel.
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
No, that's all right. But no. So I was waiting the whole film for this helicopter decapitation. Never happened, but I still loved The Return of the Living Dead. So then we went back to the video store to return the tape the next day, and he asked the guy at the counter, if it's not this movie, then what movie is it where a zombie gets his head cut off by a helicopter? Do you know? And luckily the guy at the desk did know. And so then I got to rent Dawn of the Dead literally the next day after renting The Return of the Living Dead. So 10-year-old me had quite a good weekend.
Sweet.
Oh, that is a good experience.
Mm-hmm.
My dad got me onto Phantasm 2, and that's when I became not only a Phantasm fan, but a horror fan from that moment forward. And you're talking like 1990, 91. And so I got introduced to horror movies before that, but I always hated them. The famous story is my babysitter took me to Swamp Thing and one of the Nightmare on Elm Streets, so she could hang out with her boyfriend. And I was like way too young. Yeah. And I'm like, what the hell am I watching? So I've always whenever Swamp Thing regrows his arm in the original movie, I always have a little PTSD of sorts. But
I love that movie too. I love Swamp Thing.
Oh God, yes.
Awesome. And Kevin, you, Dawn of the Dead, 1978. Is this your first time, or do you have an initial memory of this one too?
My initial memory of this was, what time is it? 8 p.m. I watched this about 11 hours ago.
This is a first time watch for you then.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I thought you told me you'd watched this before.
No, I've seen the Snyder version, and I greatly enjoyed that. I thought that was cool. I don't really want to watch it ever again after this. Ever. Like it was.
I think it's a good remake, but I don't think it's more of an action movie than a zombie movie.
Yeah.
I agree with Addison on this.
Yeah, I'd say it's the adrenaline, high octane action movie version, but there's nothing wrong with that.
No,
it's a modern version of this, and it just it hits the pedal and it goes running. It does not throttle. It does not dwell on social commentary.
No.
There's none of that.
I like that it didn't even try to do that. It was just kind of this distilled. It's basically what the Argento cut kind of is, just with no running zombies.
I think that was only like an hour and 40 minutes anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
mean, James Gunn wrote it. Zack Snyder directed it.
Yep.
And the two of them combined for some odd reason actually works.
Yeah, it worked. Totally.
So I'm on Snyder Cut fans and Gunn fans. Like, y'all can work together. Come on.
Yes, it can work. That's actually interesting. I guess I never even realized till now that they both would later cross paths in the DCU much, much later.
I can't help but to. I'll always love that movie, and that was the only one of the Dead movies, that I really enjoyed.
Oh, the remake?
Yes, from the remake on, like that and Diary of the Dead were the only ones that I really enjoyed.
We demoed that in Circuit City when I was selling TVs. It was on the screen almost all the time. They kept replaying the damn trailer over and over and over.
Okay,
as I'm selling big screen TVs, I'm like, check out this surround sound and this big widescreen television. Like, look at the zombie head going poof like that. It's awesome, isn't it? I sold a bunch of TVs doing that.
It could have been the zombie baby being born. Like, be happy.
Oh my god!
That's actually one of the few things I don't like about the remake. I thought that was kind of dumb. That didn't really make much sense to me.
Agreed. I was like, no, that doesn't work for me. And the one scene I wanted to see out of that movie, I had to wait to home video because I had to use the bathroom. Apparently, not apparently, I had to. I missed the shotgun scene.
Which one? Oh, right in the beginning, like when they shoot the zombie.
No, the head blowing off in the middle of the movie with the guy who goes on to Modern Family to play
yes.
I missed that for the minute and 35 seconds I left the theater.
Does Phil get killed?
Yep, Phil is shot and he's blown the fuck off.
Yeah.
Damn!
You can never take that man again seriously as an actor after that. Because he's going into comedy after this, after Dawn of the Dead remake.
That was a jarring realization. He's back. What happened?
Hey, Rob.
Oh yeah, I was sitting for a minute in the other room. I forgot I had to click another button. All my internet died. I'm on my hotspot right now, so I hope it is strong enough to do this. We will see. So far, so good. I'm not like
not
freezing
anymore.
like at the early '90s.
Nah. We're just talking a little bit about first-time experiences and a little bit of Dawn of the Dead remake. But Rob, what was your first experience with Dawn of the Dead?
Did I miss Addison's? Oh, Addison's first experience was probably the cool one. I think I saw it the first time in college.
Really?
Just on DVD.
Oh, wow.
I don't think it would have been one. Yeah, I mean, we rented a lot of like horror movies, like with aunts and stuff, but like this is exactly the kind of movie they didn't like. For example, we rented Dead Alive and they turned it off.
Oh,
I mean, like
I bet
5 in, they just turned it off. So it was not their style movie. They did a lot of like Halloweens and stuff. They dug those kind of things because we liked horror movies. I don't see them. I don't think they would have liked this movie, and I don't think they would have allowed us to finish it.
My sister, I remember renting Dead Alive. I'd never seen it. I didn't know how gross it was. My sister literally like got up off the couch and left the living room, and she just let me finish it. And it's just like, the living room's yours. We're not fighting over the TV tonight.
I don't think we even made it past them stepping on the rat monkey.
Yeah.
Like them stepping on the rat monkey, they were like, oh. But I really liked Dead Alive. I mean, as a kid, and I tracked it down like later, and it was like I gotta finish this movie. They were so wrong. That movie was great.
You see Dead Alive, and all I saw was Frighteners first, and then I went back and watched Dead Alive and Meet Them.
I may have seen Frighteners as well, prettier, because I remember being obsessed with like the poster. You know, like,
oh my god, the imagery of the poster when it would change in the movie. I was like, what the hell is that movie? I'm seeing
coming out of the other face.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's a good face. That's a good poster too.
Why we rented it too. So this, I think, it might have even been around the time Land of the Dead came out.
Oh wow!
We just like
I haven't seen
binged them all and just watched them all.
You haven't seen Land of the Dead?
Or I did. I have Survival of the Dead on DVD. I've seen that once. I have not seen Land of the Dead though.
Oh,
after Survival, I'm like, man, do I really want to go back and check out some of the sequels or not? But I keep hearing Land of the Dead is actually the best follow-up.
Land is cool, and it's the biggest budget Romero ever had. So
it really was.
It was, yes. 20 million.
Did Romero do Land?
Yeah.
He did Land and what? Survival too?
And Diary.
And Diary, yeah.
Yeah,
Diary is what? That's the found footage one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Land is the fourth, and that's $20 million from Universal. Like he had never worked with a budget like that before.
And the zombies are talking and getting smart and stuff.
I don't know if that was grunting, grunting and hand signals and stuff.
That's a language to someone, as long as they can communicate and understand it.
They're following a leader.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Evolving.
It didn't do as well as anybody was really expecting it to, so that's why he backpedaled and went straight back to his indie roots with Diary. And then that didn't do that well either. So then Survival is just kind of its own movie. It has really no connection to anything in the franchise. It's just another Romero zombie movie with just not much like the connective tissue. Like it's just kind of, and then like Walking Dead came out and he became irrelevant.
Hey, really quick before we get into the good, the bad, and some of these parts about Dawn of the Dead, Addison, I gotta ask you, like, I've been trying to dig into like Twilight of the Dead that his wife has been working on with some other directors and his treatment. Do you know anything new about Twilight of the Dead really quick? Because all I found is like they're still working on budget, but like apparently they shot the damn thing. I'm a little confused by what's going on.
I don't think that that's true. I mean, there's different things that have been happening with this stuff since he passed away.
Right.
In 2019 or 2020, they put out a book, and it was unfinished. Romero had been writing it for years and years and years. I think maybe the intention was to adapt it into some kind of script or screenplay, but because it went unfinished, they just published it as a novel. And I forget what that's called. It might just be called Living Dead. Like just nothing just it's called Living Dead. But it's a book, and I think parts of Twilight of the Dead are part of that. But I don't know who would really even be brave enough to shoot an unproduced Romero screenplay. Like I don't know, like why would you want to be the one to like fuck that up? I don't know.
Well, it sounds like when I was digging in, they had Brad Anderson from Session 9 jumping in, and he's been a big fan for years. And apparently they shot some stuff, but like Greg Nicotero is also chiming in, being like, "Oh, we don't have enough money to finish this." It's like, wait, didn't you start this in 2023? What's really going on? And trying to navigate the waters is like, apparently you have a finished script. Apparently you started shooting something, but you ran out of. This is just quick in summation of what I could figure out.
Yeah.
They ran out of money, and nobody's willing to jump in to help out. But apparently they had enough of the bullet lines from like George to finish up Twilight. And his wife has been like, yes, this is the script. This is good. This is what he wanted. You hit all the points, but like there's some weirdness going around Twilight of the Dead. And I'm like, did you even start shooting it or did you not? Or do you still need money to even work on it or what's going on? All we know is like we're getting a Return of the Dead sequel this December. And we're getting
I don't know if that's still happening either, because earlier this summer I was at a Return of the Living Dead 40th anniversary screening and Linnea Quigley was there.
Yeah.
And she shed some light on that. She said that is actually an unsanctioned remake, and the guy in charge of it, that like if anybody saw the teaser for that thing where it was like the Tar Man bragging, like
we did a review on our stream.
That was made with AI.
No. Evil.
Yeah, that whole
horrible
remake, according to Linnea, the whole thing was done with AI in order to shop it around to get investors interested because they hadn't shot anything. So they just made that AI garbage and showed it to people to trick them into thinking that more of the movie had been shot than had, to just get people money. There's nothing. Nothing exists. Yeah. And so she and her team, because some of the Return of the Living Dead actors have sort of a piece of the pie when it comes to.
Yeah, I thought I remember hearing something about that.
Right. So they jumped down that guy's throat. And I don't believe that movie is ever going to be made because the only thing that exists is that AI generated teaser. And then everybody involved in the movie shut his ass down.
Sweet. I mean, that sucks, but sweet. Fuck that guy.
Ouch.
Yeah. Because also, I don't know if
well, that was like
if you look at that guy's film history, it's just all. I don't think that guy has a movie on IMDb rated above a 2 or a 3. All of his other movies are like 2.2, 2.9. Like it's just a slew of just garbage movies. And he just took it upon himself. He didn't ask permission. He didn't license anything.
He just did it.
He just did that AI teaser and was like, I'm making a remake, and tried to get investors involved. And when news got out, Linnea, Miguel Nunez, all the other people involved, they were just like, no, we kind of have a slice of the Return of the Living Dead franchise. You don't. Who the hell are you? And so they all kind of came together and sued him.
Ooh, that'll take him.
Yeah.
He'll probably get an AI lawyer next.
Yeah.
I hope it's just that cat lawyer. I'm not a cat.
It's gonna be
fucking
Ace
Harvey
Phoenix.
Birdman.
You got that thing I sent you? Anyway, so yeah, that was my whole first experience, though, was just watch it in college.
I saw it when I was 10, so yeah.
All right, Kevin.
I had figured you were born seeing it, Addison. That's what it was on in the delivery room.
That's how I felt.
My dad saw it in theaters in its original run. He saw it at like the local mall or something, and it's just like, man,
the mall.
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, malls did have movie theaters within them, and
we used to go to Milwaukee for our like local theaters, or we went to Elkhorn for like the 2 screens they had until they turned into a play theater, and it'd always be a fun time just going to be like, oh, well, at least there's 4 screens here in Milwaukee at the South Ridge Mall that we could check out.
Actually, I don't know if it's still on YouTube, but somebody took, I don't know the authenticity of this, but there was a video on YouTube where someone took the audio that they had like recorded on a cassette or something like that. I don't know. For like some kind of Detroit premiere in the late 70s. At some theater that doesn't exist anymore, but they snuck in like a recorder and they recorded the audience reaction because nobody had seen this movie before, So every scream, every startle, every hoop and holler, it was all for the first time. And so someone took that recording and they married it to the movie, so you could watch the movie and hear an audience reaction. And they even like prefaced the video with a still image of what the theater looked like in like 1978. And you bet I watched that because it's like, oh, cool. Because I'm from Detroit. Well, I'm in the Detroit area. And so it's like, that's pretty sweet that like, I can watch the movie. I can hear the audience reaction and to know that like, I'm probably not that far away from where that theater once stood.
And if you start the movie and the audience reaction at the same time, it syncs up with Dark Side of the Moon.
Yes, there we go.
It's perfect.
Missing beat.
Really?
No, Jeff, not
I
really.
gotta look at this, man. Oh my god.
Or we just take out Dawn of the Dead and just have the audience reaction with Wizard of Oz.
Is that my internet company telling me, yeah, we turned off the internet? We're idiots.
Fucking Jeff Goldblum came out today and said after filming Wicked 2, he decided to become a vegetarian.
Oh, because of
And
like
not
the
eat-
animal cruelty he was envisioned. Yeah.
Something I have no idea what that's about, but yes.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
And all I could think of was it was like, that just means more chicken for me.
And like his character in the movie had to be cruel to animals or something.
Something of sorts. It's not even an official like Oz thing. It's based off the
Cows
book
taste better
that
if
is
the
based
farmer
off
goes
the
out and just kicks
screenplay
them
that's
for a
based off
while.
of
You
a
know,
play.
it tenderizes the meat.
Tenderizes
Yes,
them,
exactly.
It just starts whipping the horse.
The pain juice is released, and it just softens the meat beautifully.
Well, it's also they like it, so that's
Mhm.
yeah.
I was like, moo. Right?
Yeah.
Moo!
But yes, it is confirmed by my email that my entire internet company is doing an internet upgrade just as this recording started. They're
Of course.
upgrading
That
their
happens
entire
like-
network.
Yeah.
Man, Rob, they don't like you, bro.
It's not me they don't like. I think it's you.
They
Hey.
do.
It's me too, actually.
Hey, if it's Spectrum
Stringer
or
thing
AT&T,
It is Spectrum.
Yeah.
Take that. But give one to AT&T too. Ugh.
Yeah, no kidding. But as far as Dawn of the Dead 1978 goes, there's some good to talk about with this one. Kevin, you want to kick us off with this?
Dude, John Foray. This was 10 years later, and it was a bit more fashionable to be able to say, you know what? Our main character in this movie is black, and he's going to be a bad motherfucker. And they didn't kill him at the end of this movie, and I was kind of like, yay, they didn't fuck that up this time.
They teased
Like-
it.
They
did.
did tease this.
Twice. They teased it. They teased the first one at the beginning. Well, the rednecks must be having a great time with this. And they even fly over the farm, I think, at one point.
Yeah.
But yes, they again allude to it where he's going to shoot himself, and you're just kind of like, and he goes, no, I'm not going to do that. Fuck it, I choose life. Yay! So I mean, this had a much happier ending. But
That was actually, I think, it partly Ken's idea, but also, I think when they were shooting the movie, and then by the time they got to the ending, everybody just kind of universally agreed that like these characters should live, right? Like everybody loves them. We're all having a really great time. This isn't Night of the Living Dead. This doesn't have to have like a dour ending, because even he was gonna shoot himself, and then Franny was gonna start the helicopter blades and like lift herself up into the blades and cut her own head off.
all right then.
Yep, that was how the movie was gonna end. Seriously, and then when they scrapped that, Savini had already constructed a fake head of that actress, and that is the head that gets shot with a shotgun early on in the movie when they're doing the SWAT. So if you freeze frame right before the SWAT member blows her head off or blows the zombie's head off, that's Franny painted to match the skin tone of all the zombies in the building, and then they with a fake beard applied to it. But you strip that away and you take the paint off. That was a head cast of the
I
actor.
knew that was Franny with a beard. Yep, that's Franny with a beard.
I'm like, man.
Yep.
I didn't even know that till you just told me that.
Yep. So go back and freeze frame that and inspect it. You've got the 4K, so take a look. You can see that it's that actress's face on that fake head, and it gets blown up with a shotgun because they'd already made it, but they changed the ending.
I totally want to see that. No, that's awesome.
I don't know that I would have. I guess what you're saying. I get that it's a dour ending. I don't know that I would have. It's a funny way for her to do it, but
it's a little ridiculous. I mean, to like lift yourself up into the blades or something.
Well, see, I would see it as she went out there to fly away, and then she's like, "Oh shit, I'm really not good at this. Like, I can't fly this helicopter. I have hardly any experience at all."
Right.
Well,
but even then, running off the edge of the building is probably like braver than like lifting your head up into the.
I know. I don't know if it's like a chin
it's gonna be painless.
I don't know how she's gonna do it.
You jump off a roof, you just break your legs, you die bleeding there for a while, and you probably get eaten alive while you're doing it. I'll take the head. It's real quick.
Yeah.
I
Maybe
would
you
take
should have landed the helicopter on the ground and then jumped off the building onto the blades, and then that.
There you go.
Would be some John Woo shit. I would watch. I think Foray was going to shoot himself, but then he was like, "This gun is too small. I'm going to live." Like, come on, this is not going to kill me.
Need another shot.
Like Derringer, Jesus Christ. Why?
Am I robbing a liquor store? Come on. I'm not going to kill anything with that gun.
That's also why at the end, when it's, that's like John Wayne music that's like playing at the end. Like it's all, celebratory. I think he ripped that from some old Western. And, that's why it's like a big hero's triumph. We're getting away. We're just getting the helicopter and fly. But no, it was going to end with everyone dead. Everyone was going to die. And I think the cast and crew turned on Romero and just said, like, don't end the movie that way. It's too bleak.
It's kind of a nice redemption from Night of the Living Dead, where obviously the black protagonist gets to live.
Yeah.
He gets to fly away with the blonde woman to do. And at the same time, she's not an incompetent airhead like in the first film, like Barbara is. Like she seems like she's gonna lose her shit and be that way, and then she's like, "You're not leaving me alone. You're giving me a gun. I'm gonna learn how to fly the helicopter." She like snaps to being,
I think that character was created sort of as an apology for Barbara, like, because I think over time he felt bad for having underwritten a female role, and so I think Franny was sort of the apology, and like
but we're not here to talk about Night of the Living Dead, but there are other female characters in that movie that aren't
right.
They don't just freeze and panic. I mean, the mother stands up for herself quite a bit and tries to stand up to her husband and tell her stuff. The girlfriend of the boy, she's a little bit more competent. So like it's just that Barbara's that's just her personality. She's just a bubblehead, and that just freezes in any moment of trauma. That's just, some people just snap, and that's her thing. She snaps early and snaps the whole time.
And stays that
she
way,
was initially introduced as the protagonist that, she was the one that the audience connected to from the get-go. And so then when she gets sidelined by all these other characters, you kind of maybe feel betrayed, or like, where'd she go? I thought she was going to be the main character.
Yeah. But now we have Franny in this one.
Yes.
Who's more proactive.
And then the next one, I forget the character's name, Sarah. She's like a badass,
Oh, the scientist doctor?
Yeah, in Day of the Dead. She is just, in charge.
Scientist, actually.
I've only seen like the first third of that movie. So it's going to be a first time watch for me when we get to Day of the Dead.
Yeah, Triple Threat.
I don't know if
you've never seen Day of the Dead?
I've seen the first third of it, like the first 35, 40 minutes, and I'm like, man, this looks fun.
Aunt turned it off.
But I just got it recently from the Scream Factory is going out of business sale for like $5, and I'm like, hey,
fuck you.
Now it's in my collection, so
it's fairly dialogue heavy. That's why a lot of people don't love it as much as Dawn of the Dead. Is that it's very talky. There's a lot more conversation in the movie. And that's just because the budget got stripped before they went into production. Because it was supposed to be a much, much, much bigger movie, but the compromise was that he would have had to have delivered an R-rated product, which he was not willing to do. So rather than have like a $35 million movie for Day of the Dead, it got shrunk down to like $5 million. Like that's as low as he could go in order to deliver an unrated movie.
Let's see that.
Huh.
But it's still good. I think it's still good. I think it's still, it's the last half hour is just like non-stop zombie carnage. I mean, it is
See, this is why we decided to do the trilogy, and then we're gonna get into the Night of the Living Dead remake for our last.
You watched the wrong third, Jeff. You should have just watched the last third.
Yes,
first.
The last half hour is nonstop. It's Tom Savini at his peak. It's just a plethora of special effects, gags, and gore, and you're just like, well, it's just one thing after the next. Just one thing.
Cacophony of carnage.
Yes, there you go.
Yes, and my God, he was spectacular in this. Not just as an actor, but like his work is signature, and it's peak in this. Like more so,
it is amazing.
Yeah,
almost
more so than even Friday the 13th.
When you see a zombie get hit by a semi-truck and like they go flying, or that's Savini or his buddy, because they were makeup guys, but they also were hired to be stunt people. So whenever there's a moment in the movie when a zombie gets hit by the semi-truck and they go flying backwards and they spit blood like all over the windshield. That was Savini. And if you look, you gotta pause quick. But as the truck is like moving past the screen, you can see that he had jumped off a trampoline in order to do that backflip. It's still there for like a couple frames. You can see he's jumping backwards off of a trampoline to make it look like the semi-truck got him.
And if you look in the cab, it's Fran's head with a beard on driving the truck.
Yeah.
To be quick-sighted.
Or Fran with a beard.
Right.
Yes.
Savini's his character. This is wild. He looks so strung
It's like
out.
Sex Machine, like years before Sex Machine from Dusk Till Dawn.
Same jacket. Yeah, absolutely, it was.
Yeah, I think this was not lost on Tarantino because he loves Dawn of the Dead.
Oh yeah,
Tarantino. Be a reference.
Back before he even made like Reservoir Dogs, he would do like acting gigs. And like he did an episode of Golden Girls. Like he's on one episode of Golden Girls as like an Elvis impersonator.
Yep.
But when he was in LA, like applying for acting roles, he would write that he was in Dawn of the Dead as one of the zombies because you couldn't fact check that in 1980. There's no IMDb, so he would just write on one of his resumes like, I was this zombie in Dawn of the Dead because he knew no one would be able to fucking look that up.
Zombie number 4.
Yeah. What was that one?
Zombie
I was eating
4.
Yes.
I was the one nomming the foot.
Yeah.
That's why you can't see my face. Because
I was face deep in it.
I had foot and mouth disease.
I was a lot blacker back then.
Oh my God.
But I mean, that was part of the reason why I didn't like Barbara so much. And I think the more I watch Night of the Living Dead, the less I like Barbara.
You're not supposed to like her. But
well, with this one, you are supposed to like Franny by the end, and you really do.
I don't.
It starts off with her being like this
don't
powerhouse
really
kind of network producer, and then she gets pregnant, she gets sick in the middle, but like she's also very adamant, you have to teach me how to fly the helicopter because if you die, we got to get out of here. Somebody else needs to know how to fly the damn thing.
She's at least
and I have to defend myself, so I need guns around here.
That's
She's
the
not
only
stupid.
smart thing she's done. The only smart thing in 127 minutes that she does.
Right. And she
Other
got
than smoke, drink,
impregnated
and
by
not sleep with the guy.
Flyboy, right? Like, come on. Bad taste in men alone. I'm kind of like, Granny.
Flyboy.
Come on.
She's the
Like,
The
only
guy
one
knows how
who's
to throw himself around, though. You know,
she did
When
give us
he just, like,
boobas.
throws his body into the one zombie.
We talking about Flyboy?
Flyboy, yeah. Whenever.
Oh no, I hate everything about Flyboy.
You don't like Flyboy, boy.
Flyboy's
he's
okay
kind of a
for
douche.
a little bit, but he gets
Right.
a little power hungry.
Or money hungry, and it's like money's not worth anything now,
the
dude.
bank
Why are
scene,
you
like,
gonna shoot him?
They all get that way. They all become consumed.
No.
He fucks the
What's the
plan
lead?
because that's all theirs. That's our stuff. We stole it. We took it. It's ours. It's like,
we found it first.
You're simmer your role. You're gonna fuck everything.
I mean, let
no,
it go
you
and
fucked
stay
everything.
alive seems like the logical thing.
Yeah, like
And
what?
I
What do you?
think that's the whole point of the movie, though. is that-
Endangering his.
No, I just think that that
Go on,
all
wait,
the characters become, the thing that that Romero was revolting against is like even in the
Well,
in
I don't
the
think
apocalypse.
Well,
what's the lead fellow's
consumerism,
character's
basically.
name?
Who?
What's the lead guy's character's? What's the character name?
Roger?
Roger.
Roger and Peter.
Yeah.
Peter's the jerk one, the blonde, right? Yeah.
No, that's Roger.
That's Roger. Yeah.
That's Roger.
Oh, well then
Peter's the guy on screen right now.
Yeah, that's Peter.
Okay, Peter's good then. Yeah, no. See,
Yes.
Peter, I think, never gets corrupted. I mean, if you
true.
can just take some money,
Right,
cool.
right.
I'll also just take some money. But then when a bunch of bikers show up to take the money, I'm like, you have it. You have it, and I'll stay alive. And
Yes, he does
and
get
Franny's
frustrating.
like that too. But Roger and Flyboy, who I'm going to call him that for the rest of the time, they're morons. And I think you're supposed to hate them the way that you're supposed to hate certain characters in Night of the Living Dead. Like, you're not supposed to like them. And I think Barbara's one. You're not supposed to like her. She's supposed to be completely weak and incompetent in traumatic situations. You're supposed to hate her. So she's not resourceful. That's what separates her from the people who should have stayed alive or at least lasted longer. So I think that's kind of all intentional as far as not liking them.
Well, with Roger, I think you're trying to get to the point of watching somebody go from who is in a stable point of some sort and completely lose it by the end and actually turn into a zombie by the end. And then Flyboy is just like, he was completely off the deep end and over controlling at the beginning to completely losing control by the end. So you see the different characters going across like the different spectrums of the crazy to death to zombie mode that they would. And seeing Peter end up at the end being like, you know what, I don't want to leave with you, Franny, but 20 minutes later, you know what, forget it, I do want to live, I want to get the fuck out of here.
He probably hates babies.
Boom, boom, boom. And that's a whole different thing. Like, man, I would have done that ending just a tick differently with climbing up the ladder and getting out there and getting onto the helicopter, but that's just me.
It's like, all right, Franny, we can fly off into the sunset, but I'm giving you that abortion.
Because you got a baby daddy that I did not like.
He said he knew how. I don't know.
He
didn't say how or why he knew how.
You think they went to an island?
They teach you when you enlist.
Oh, it's one of those secret things. But that's the thing to me that was odd is that, we're still supposed to be talking about the good, but that that Roger who goes crazy he's a military guy, but he seems to go crazy from the violence. And it's like, you've seen a lot of this prior to even getting on this helicopter. You've been killing zombies for weeks. Why are you losing it now?
Well, now he's able to like plunder and loot and do his own. He was
enjoying
thing.
It too much.
Well, I'm thinking about the shot of like when they were like stealing the semi truck and he gets covered in the blood, and that's like kind of where he snaps, and Peter has to be like, get your break. It's like, why are you snapping? Flyboy, I could see losing his mind because he's not used to shooting a bunch of people in the head, but Roger is generally pretty used to shooting a bunch of people in the head, and that shouldn't be like what drives him nuts, I wouldn't think.
Yeah,
once he gets bitten and turned into a zombie, obviously he gets nuts. That's makes sense. But.
He starts having like a midlife crisis before he gets to his midlife. Like, oh, we should do this whole maneuver, right? Yeah.
I should have stolen a Corvette.
That's where I think Walking Dead gets the idea. Hey, let's have Glenn steal a Dodge Challenger.
But yeah, but the
so
good,
much.
we're spoken specifically on the good. Like Peter, and I don't care for Franny much, but I'm fine with her redemption. And I think the strongest thing about this whole film, I think we'll all agree, is the setting. The mall is just a great one. It's a great satire. You know, they're coming back to what they're used to, but it's just a great contained space, which saves money for sure, but also just is now an iconic location. And yeah, just a great place to keep everyone trapped in.
Unfortunately, that mall probably is only going to stand for another year.
Yeah, they're going to demolish it, aren't they, Addison?
Walmart bought it this past summer. And,
no.
I thought I heard somebody bought it. I didn't know who.
Yeah, it was Walmart. And last weekend or the weekend before was the last, because every summer they do a Dawn of the Dead reunion show, and they've been doing this since 2017, where they bring back original cast and crew. And, the movie was shot in Pittsburgh. And so a lot of the zombie extras were just locals from the area. And then they just went back to their regular lives. But now all these years later, they do a Living Dead reunion show inside the mall, and they seek out any remaining extras who still live in the area, and they bring them back in for the weekend and put them back in their zombie makeup from the original movie. Savini is there.
They get Quentin Tarantino to come to the mall?
Yes.
He probably play his own ass out.
And they just stick him far back in the corner. They don't even acknowledge him.
That he has
down, Quentin.
with
eyes up.
Cast of Uma's foot that he has.
That's a big thermos.
Wiggle your big toe, Kevin.
Gross.
But just last weekend, I think they did the final show. I don't know who all the guests
there.
I couldn't go. No.
How many times have you been to it though?
About 4 or 5.
Nice.
Yeah, I started going in 2017 when they've done reunion shows at the mall before, but there's this company or there's this crew called just Living Dead Weekend, and they have been every summer except for COVID, but every summer since 2017 they've been bringing people back. And so I go almost every summer, except I've skipped a couple, but I've paid for the tours. I've gone into places that is not available to the public, like the boiler room, when Flyboy is fumbling with the gun and dropping the bullets and firing aimlessly, and they're zigzagging, ricocheting off the pipes. I've been there, and it sounds exactly the same. That audio is not altered. It's not special effects. It sounds just like that still today. And it's one of the only places in the mall that has remained untouched, because all the other stores are different. There was a shoe store that had still been the same for all this time, but that got switched over.
Owned that.
Yes, he made sure. Yeah, he had stock in that and made sure it was a staple. But that is gone now. But I mean, gradually,
now it's a Wetzel's Pretzels.
Over the last 30, 40 years, they've been slowly taking away the foliage and the pond and all that stuff. So it's been sanitized anyway.
Do they are those the what did they call them? The displays? What is the button where they open the glass and all the art comes out? But was that ever an installation? I can't remember what they call it.
It was part of it. I mean, it was part of it back in the day. But I mean, that stuff has slowly been picked away and taken out.
Somebody owns those sculptures.
Well, somebody owns the bridges and stuff that are throughout the mall that you see, the little the wooden bridges over the ponds. Yeah. When those were removed, somebody did buy those up, and so they're somewhere. I don't know where. I don't know who has them, but yeah, the foliage is gone. The ponds are gone. Even the staircases are all different. It's really hard to recognize that it's the Dawn of the Dead mall when you're on the inside, but when you start looking and you start comparing shots and angles, you kind of figure it out.
All the escalators are now temporarily stairs.
Some of those have been destroyed, and
lame.
Yeah, there's an exhibit inside the mall called the Living Dead just the Living Dead Mall, and a lot of the original props are in like glass cases inside inside this exhibit, and so are a bunch of other Romero related original props. I mean,
Granny's beard head is in there.
Yeah, just beard. When the head's gone, it's just like the beard.
It's just
cigarette vending machines. Let's go.
But there's like, machetes that have like half of it cut out. Like that still exists. Like that prop is in glass.
That's how he did that. I thought he just killed the girl.
No, movie magic. Unfortunately.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
But a lot of that stuff it's just unless you like have like photographic, memory of the movie, it just looks like another mall now. It's too gentrified. And now it's gonna be gone. It's gonna be
so many white people.
Good riddance then.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Even like
those people could reunite anywhere though. People would still come to see them.
They're all dead.
Yeah.
Well, they're not all dead. It was movie magic, Jeff. Pay attention.
But that giant hill too, when all the bikers show up and they're on the roof with the binoculars and they see all those lights coming down, that hill is still just right across from the mall, and you can, drive down the path that they took to, when they were about to do their raid on the mall.
Now you told me that the area that they hang out in, though, their safe upper area, is not actually in that mall.
Right. That's a set. Right. Or just film somewhere else. It's just somewhere else entirely. The whole bunker where they stay in is not even in that mall. And the staircase that they have to go up, it leads up to nothing now. Because it did go in.
People are falling off all the time.
It's just a cycle. You just fall off, and then you're back at the bottom of the stairs. You do it again.
It's like the Winchester Mystery House.
But those stairs, they literally do just go up and stop at a wall, and you're just like, "Where's the door? There's no door anymore."
There had to be a door at some point.
There's no door anymore.
There was a door.
Wall it off.
There was a door, but it's all painted now, so it's just like a concrete wall, and there's nothing. Those stairs that lead to nothing.
I agree with Jeff's theory. They walled it off, and possibly they walled somebody in there, like Edgar Allan Poe style.
Yeah,
that's where George is. Sorry, George.
Yeah.
And if Legend of Zelda has taught us anything, it's time to get the bombs.
But the weirdest part was going in that staircase and realizing just how small it was. Because in the movie, it looks pretty big. But in real life, the staircase is teeny tiny. And I couldn't even fathom trying to get like a camera, like a big 35 millimeter camera up there and a crew.
Oh, yeah.
It looked like it would be impossible, but they did it. And then whatever lens they used made that space look bigger, but it's actually pretty small up there.
Wow. People were smaller back then in the 70s too. We've been getting bigger.
The camera adds
it's McDonald's.
It's the
4'8", 4'11".
It's the growth hormones that they put in the chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
Supersize me.
Back when they used to have the dark meat.
I also like the music in here. At least I really am a big fan of the Monty Python needle drop that they obviously took from Holy Grail.
I liked it.
Yeah, because I did the Leo DiCaprio, like that meme. Monty Python.
Romero had just this knowledge of like this music that was available. It wasn't copyrighted.
Public domain. That's
public domain. Yeah, he had like an encyclopedic knowledge somehow of public domain music.
Yep.
And a lot of the Night of the Living Dead soundtrack was designed the same way too. He would just go to the library and just listen to records and take note of like what music he liked. And so a lot of the Dawn of the Dead soundtrack is composed of all this public domain stuff with Goblin.
I couldn't imagine the Goblin on it. Yeah, like it's weird. Is Goblin in the regular version? It's a band that Dario Argento loved to put on his movies.
Oh,
and almost never matches the tone of what's going on.
I agree.
Yeah, like it's always weird. as a not a Goblin one, but is it? I think it's in Phenomenon where he has Iron Maiden's Flash of the Blade play, and it's just so weird. It's just like nobody's moving at a pace that it fits with the song at all.
I think that was like Argento, language barrier thing and pop culture barrier, and so he just was like, well,
this stuff is really cool. Yeah.
Metal is cool. The kids like this.
It's still punk, man.
Yeah. But it was Argento who convinced Romero, like, hey, use my band. Like, I've used them several times, and so you should use them in the movie. Because Argento had a lot of say in what to use, fronting the money and then getting his own cut out there. So, this wasn't 100% everything that Romero wanted to do. Argento did have a say in some of the stuff, like the music and, just stuff like that.
So he sounds a lot like Dino De Laurentiis then.
A little bit.
Wowzers.
Not as crazy. Right. Not as crazy, though. Like, not as controlling and nuts.
De Laurentiis, my favorite story of him was from Red Dragon, where he got fucking seriously butthurt. Like, legitimately did not understand why the people that own the fucking Dollarhide home would not let him, for reals, blow the fucking house up.
I'll buy you another house.
Yeah, that was
this house over here is very nice.
Blow the fuck up. Let's go.
Like,
I'll let you get your kids out of it first, okay? Just to sweeten the deal.
If you guys watch the special features to Red Dragon, dude, he's like, I don't understand why we're paying. Why don't they let? Okay, why building a model is so much harder.
It takes us 2 to 3 days.
For that King Kong remake he did in the 70s, he spent millions and millions of dollars building a gigantic animatronic King Kong that you see in one shot.
Oh my god, that's right.
It looks like shit.
It looks like shit.
Yeah.
I don't mind the 76 movie or 77.
77, I want to say. I don't mind Laurinaitis' King Kong.
I don't mind it either.
Yeah, I but that's because I'm a Toho kid and I like suits. So I don't mind suits. And that's actually a pretty good looking suit throughout that movie. I can't even, I'm trying to think of what shot.
It was better than Godzilla vs. King Kong.
At the end, when they're...
you talking about the newer one?
No, the original.
Old one.
No, go to hell. Go to hell. In fact, go to hell and die.
I know what Kevin was talking about there.
First off, it's called King Kong versus Godzilla. King Kong got top billing in the movie, 1963.
Which I have over on my shelf over here.
Love King Kong versus Godzilla. You're absolutely wrong. You have to remember the Japanese were adapting it, and they have an aesthetic. All right, so King Kong had to match that. He had to fight the octopus. We had the octopus flying around. It's not the best suit. It's not the best suit, but the heart was there.
He had big ass lips like King Louie, dude, from fucking Jungle Book.
They don't know what gorillas look like exactly. They don't have them in Japan. They used a panda as a model.
Now don't you mess with me, man cub. I'm mad to deal with you.
Hey, we want to talk about 8 movies. We got the right guy on this show right now.
Yes.
In all fairness, though, I really do want to get that on Criterion. Because it looks really nice.
What the
King Kong versus Godzilla?
You should. I've got the Blu-ray.
It's a good, yeah.
I've also got 3 copies on VHS. Right over.
Nice.
Good man.
I grew up with that Good Times tape.
Yep, I've got the Good Times tape, and I've got the big clamshell one, and they also released it on a regular box in that same release. I'm pretty close to every U.S. Godzilla release. I have Godzilla vs. Megalon in about 20 different copies. So,
that having been said, Joffrey, I'm watching Gorgo for Friday.
I like Gorgo. You're gonna be dorking?
To get on to what we're watching for Friday, really quick.
What's that?
I need to get on that for Friday, really quick.
Yeah, hurry your ass up. Yeah. And are we talking about The Bad yet?
We can get on to the bad. The only thing I'd say otherwise is the performances are great. The story is excellent. It's been talked to in depth, but I think the movie overall is a fantastic movie, but there are some flaws to it. So, Kevin, hit the bad, baby.
The bad. George Romero does not know how to write women. He does not.
You think?
That's fair.
Yeah. My assessment of this, tits on a bull.
Hey, she shows hers, at least.
I missed that part.
Unless you watched the wrong movie, Kevin.
I watched the wrong movie. I watched the wrong movie.
I don't know if that was in my cut either.
It's not. It's
theatrical
not there. It's that in that 4K box set, they brightened some of the footage. So in a shot,
a little perky for at least a moment, but she looks so disappointed.
Right. There's a scene where the camera is zooming out. She's in bed with Flyboy, and in all other versions of the movie, it's kind of a dark shot. It's you can't see anything. But for this new 4K, they brightened up the shot, and so you can see her sitting in bed next to Flyboy topless.
Ooh! I mean,
and boy, does Flyboy look like,
right?
God, I actually slept with her again after all that dinner and bullshit.
Right, so
and I asked her to marry me, and she said no.
And the shot was dark, so because all you wanted to see was the cigarette in the dark, and that was illuminating
their expressions on their faces. About their disappointment with each other.
Right. The only light you saw was from the cigarette lighting their disappointed faces. But in that 4K box set for each cut, unfortunately, they brightened up that shot. And so now you see her topless. And it's like, oh, I didn't know I didn't know she was topless before.
Right. I was like, wait, I never saw this with my dad like years ago, unless my dad saw it and I didn't.
Close your eyes real quick, Jeff.
Close your eyes, Flyboy's
cover your eyes.
That's when my dad had like Cinemax and everything on his satellite dish that had free feeds, and I could set a videotape and grab it quick in the morning before he woke up.
For whatever reason, for as much as my dad loves horror and loves monsters, he was never into zombies, so I didn't see this. I didn't see Night of the Living Dead until I was in my teens or 20s.
I hated zombies until I hit college, basically.
By the time I was in college, I was past it. Like, I loved Return of the Living Dead in grade school and high school.
For obvious reasons.
Well, yeah. Quigley.
Tits on a bull?
Tits on a bull. Tits on a bull. But to me, it didn't get better than Return of the Living Dead and Return of the Living Dead 2. And then I saw Dawn of the Dead 2002. I'm like, this is pretty good. Okay, this is taking that zombie step up a bit further. They're really embracing the new rated R. I like this.
What came first, that or 28 Days Later?
That
I thought 28 Days Later was 2001.
Did it?
I think it was 28 Days because that movie was such a smash hit that it kind of led to then.
Oh, but they're both 2002 then. 28 Days Later is 2002.
Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead was 2004. I know that.
Then suck it, Zack Snyder, you bastard.
I thought
28 Days Later is, I would say, the one that
it kickstarted the whole thing again.
Yes, I hated that movie. I hated that movie.
And 28 Days Later.
Yes, it was fucking stupid.
You also don't like King Kong versus Godzilla, so I'm not listening to you.
Yeah, nobody listens to Kevin anymore.
Bonsai!
What are they infected with? Rage?
Well, yeah, they could. Yeah.
Can you not fucking crop to Zoloff then? Fuck off.
Well, I think that was they sort of had to find a different way because zombie movies were like they just weren't popular anymore, so they had to sort of do something new to bring that back into the pop culture.
Yeah, and they're not zombies because they're not dead, right? They're just
Look,
getting infected.
They're not dead, and
violent.
they're not really flesh eaters either. They're not tearing people open and eating their guts. At least I don't remember them doing that.
Man, maybe they do grab people and bite. They certainly bite people. They
bite people, but they don't eat. They don't consume other people.
Oh, they spit it out like a wine tasting. Oh, delicious. That's got a good bouquet.
Well, for perspective,
let me try some of her foot.
Was also Shaun of the Dead and Dawn of the Dead by Zack Snyder. So that's the two big movies that came out after 2018.
And I feel like that is probably what had gotten my interest into it too. Although I'm not a Walking Dead fanatic like I know you guys are.
Shaun of the Dead is probably the perfect zombie film.
I agree with that.
After this, Shaun of the Dead.
I like Shaun of the Dead more.
I like it. I don't love it though.
Shaun of the Dead is a perfect homage to this movie. That's my opinion of Shaun.
Homage to the first one, not so much this one, in my opinion.
I would agree with that.
I don't know, dude. Serafinowicz
they literally say, "We're coming after you, Barbara.
We're coming to get you, Barbara." That's a great call. But yeah, they hide up in the Winchester, which is like the mall.
The mall, the Winchester. But
in Night of the Living Dead, they barricade themselves in a house. So there's always a small set as far as that goes.
Well, they had to get to the mall at this point, which was their house, which was kind of neat about this movie is this was a different type of movie. It was a bit bigger. They had, they were starting in the TV station. They were starting in real life, a much bigger, faster pace of life that we're used to, not the farm setting. And they have to get to a point where they're more isolated, where it feels more like Night of the Living Dead or The Living Dead. And that's where you're kind of like, oh, okay, now this feels more familiar, like the last film.
How long was that drive to the cemetery? When they took off, everything was totally normal, and as soon as they got to the cemetery, everybody in the world's dead. Like, how long were you driving for 3 days?
I think Johnny complains at some point how long the drive truly is. I think he does.
Yeah, but that's like. He doesn't want to go 90 minutes. It's like, how long did it take the world to turn to shit?
Like, dude, you're driving or you're wearing fucking driving gloves. How fucking fast were you driving that it took that long? Come on, now.
Oh, that's just cosmetic. That's just him showing off.
Fucking driving gloves. By the way, it's Bill Moseley's birthday today.
Oh,
happy birthday, Bill!
I have been seeing people post about Bill Moseley.
I know he washes, so he'll be impressed.
Everybody's wrapped up in everything else right now.
Bill Moseley has a copy of Psycho Ape. I gave him one once.
That's fucking awesome.
I don't know if he ever watched it, but he has it.
Got to send him 2 now.
I do. Next time I see him.
Underrated actor, in my opinion.
So I know we really liked Savini in this, but I kind of don't like that they go with the bikers. To me, the bikers are kind of a low budget alternative. I mean, it's a zombie movie, and the climax is mostly about like living human bikers terrorizing the mall. Like, I don't think it's an unrealistic touch to have marauders, but I think they were like, we're trying to, we want guns in here, we want motorcycles, and it's like, are zombies not a threat enough? Like, it kind of comes down to man is the real monster. If you listen to Reels, I hate when man is the real monster. I hate when man's the real monster. Why can't the monster be the real monster? Like,
but they do get back to that in this movie.
It gets back, and then the zombies are kind of helping them, right? Because the zombies are taking out the bikers, so suddenly the zombies aren't all that bad.
And then they're having to fight the zombies finally at the end.
Romero was highly influenced by like Westerns and stuff. So, that kind of thing, that's like a Western thing of having a gang come into town. And so you have now feuding gangs and things like that. So I think that's kind of what it's supposed to be, is a throwback to like how it is strange that it happens in the third act, like right when the movie's going to end. Something like that maybe should have been introduced sooner, but I think that's what he's trying to do.
And like these bikers at this point have to have tussled with zombies plenty.
All right, yeah.
In order to have survived, they should practically be zombie killing experts at this point. In which case, they know going into this mall should be a bad idea because it's an enclosed space. What's up with the guy who puts his arm in the pressure test?
I was gonna say, yo, you got to check your blood pressure every time.
It seemed like he did that intentionally, and there were already zombies around him, and he's just like, "I'm gonna check my blood pressure," and it's so he can get his arm stuck and ripped off in the thing. It's a cool effect, but it's like, why aren't you paying attention? Like Savini's grabbing a zombie to like use her as a shield, and it's like, don't grab her; she's gonna bite you, dude. Like so. It seemed like the bikers' inexperience around zombies, like they
just got cocky. They were overconfident.
Super crazy too.
I thought he was taking her as hostage. I'm like, what the fuck?
Right. Or like, hey, you better stop her. I'll blow her brains out.
I'm with Addison on this one.
Yeah, they were gonna come to an agreement. It was a hostage situation.
I'm gonna kill this monster if you don't fucking settle down.
You know, or you know, the motorcyclists are actually leaving. They're trying to get out of the way, right? Especially the guy with the Tommy gun in the sidecar. And Peter's like,
"Oh my god,
I'm gonna shoot this guy anyway." They're leaving. Like, just let them leave. Why are you shooting him?
Or the guy that gets fucking clotheslined, like the zombie that lazily
stretches out his arm and knocks him off.
Clotheslines the guy on the motorcycle.
You got that one from Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Yeah, right.
It was so slow.
You know the part when Savini jumps off the balcony and he's like swinging down with the sledgehammer?
Yes, that was fucking rad.
Oh yeah, that's it.
There's a cut right there abruptly when he's swinging because he kept going and hit, like smashed into the underside of that floor, like that level.
Oh,
that's
shit.
There's a cut right there because it's like a wide shot of him swing and then it's a close of him landing. But the initial shot he kept going and hit the fucking ceiling and got really hurt.
Shit.
Yeah. I didn't know that. Yeah. That explains that cut because I did notice that. And I'm like,
right. That's why that cut is there, is because he kept going and smashed into the underside of the stairs.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Ouch!
Like that to me, that scene was like, suck my dick, Earl Flynn. Suck it. Put my balls in your mouth. Robin Hood, toss that shit right out the fucking window. That's how you swing in a movie. Like that was the coolest shit I had ever seen.
Auditioning for a George of the Jungle.
Getting ready for sex
for that tree.
I don't think these guys were basically just making up stuff as they were doing this stuff. They were just improvising, like, hey, let's do this gag.
This would be cool.
This would be cool. I think that
cool. Let's do this.
Yeah. So they were not really professionals. It was just sort of like, hey,
that's what made them professionals, though. That's what made them better.
But I think that's to me kind of what the biker gang feels like. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the original script was, but it's kind of like at some point, it's like, the crew would like to be in the movie, maybe shooting guns, like and doing something cool. And he's like, all right, well, we'll have a bike gang come in, and they just start. One's got a Tommy fucking gun, and he's just shooting up the sky, like that'd be cool. Let's just do it.
Apparently,
and you got a zombie carrying an AK for half the movie, not knowing what to do with it.
There's deleted footage where Romero and his wife are dressed up as bikers, but they are Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus running around the mall.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, there's a reason why that got cut, because that sounds even dumber. But because he had a giant beard at the time, and they were shooting in December. If you notice, for continuity's sake, watch around the mall, because as they were shooting, they were going through the seasons. Like they were going through like October, November, December. So sometimes on the walls of certain stores, it says like Christmas sale, but then in other shots that sign is not there. And it's not because they took it down or whatever, because they couldn't really mess with that kind of stuff. That stuff had to like stay. But there's some shots in the movie where it says like Happy Holidays, and it just slipped into the movie. But so to get in the spirit of the thing, he dressed up as Santa Claus, and his wife, or his girlfriend at the time, dressed up as Mrs. Claus. And so they're running around the mall with the bikers, smashing TVs and doing stuff, but all that footage got cut out.
Oh, wow.
How long was the shoot? How long were they shooting this?
A couple months, because they could only shoot for the 7 or 8 hours when the mall closed, and then they had to pack up and get out of there when the mall opened again in the morning. So they were really, I mean, it was basically like shooting Kevin Smith shooting Clerks, where it was a running, operating mall. They couldn't alter it too much on the inside because, they would have to then reset it if they wanted to, because like once you start shooting at 11 p.m. or midnight or whatever, you only had that window of time before they had to, strike the set and get all that crew and equipment out of there.
Is that why the shutter's down most of the time in Clerks? Because the store is closed?
That's true. That is true. Yeah, I don't know what they did during the daytime stuff in Dawn.
Oh,
but
shit.
I know for a lot of it, it was a time crunch and they had to just get what they could.
Now I want to go back and watch Mallrats. Like, were all the shutters down? Sorry. Yes, I don't recall.
Not
that.
the pretzel place.
No.
They got you.
No. Gross. Nasty. I love it. Just totally got derailed with the chocolate covered pretzel. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Well, Kevin, is there anything about Dawn of the Dead that you didn't like?
No. Okay, so here's the thing. Ultimately, no, I'm gonna go to final judgment before I say this. Oh,
that's fine, because I ain't got too much bad about the movie other than there's like 3 different cuts and like what the fuck. But that's
my
movie to
only
enjoy.
My only bad thing is that I had not seen this movie until today. Like, golly,
that is bad. That's bad.
What
yeah,
a
bro.
That's gonna get added to my list of movies. That's gonna get added to my big giant room of DVDs or that's gonna be Blu-ray or 4K. I really liked this. Really, really liked this. This is not from the mall. This is actually my
Costco.
This is my Costco trip today. I got sent to go get chickens today, and this was everybody waiting around for fucking rotisserie chicken.
It doesn't look like they had any left. Yeah.
Yep.
That's why they're all waiting. They're slowly spinning in the back.
Yeah.
Everyone's pissed off.
Drooling and
yeah,
clamoring for chicken.
And I was kind of like
Bruce Campbell in this picture. Come on.
I was kind of like, fuck me, dude. This is exactly the shit I watched today. All right.
That's actually Costco again. Somebody finally getting their chicken, and everyone goes right after.
My chicken. Deliver me my rotisserie chicken.
For this shot here, Savini got really hurt when he fell over that side. He missed.
Is this the? Okay.
Oh no, this is not when he's swinging. This is a separate.
This guy got his ass kicked this whole movie, huh?
Oh, Savini got hurt a lot. Like,
yeah,
hit by a truck several times. Stealing. Right here, he jumps over this side railing, but he missed the boxes that he was supposed to land on. Well, he didn't completely miss. He landed on some.
Oh shit!
My
foot landed on it. Thank God.
Like his like shin, or like right in the middle of his like leg down, hit the concrete.
Oh,
he was supposed to entirely. He didn't throw himself far enough, and so most of his body landed on the boxes, but his feet and his ankles hit the ground really hard.
Son of a bitch, man.
And that rattled his feet for a while.
20 feet sucks.
Yes, workman's comp. That's not a union job. No.
And then one more stunt that he got really hurt on was, it's a cutaway shot. You can't even tell it's him. But when like Peter and Roger are just aimlessly firing at the bikers because they're inside now.
Yeah.
There's a cutaway shot to one of the bikers crashing through a plate glass window.
Yeah.
And they're wearing a biker's helmet. That's Savini. But that glass, they poured the sugar glass on an uneven area. So the top of the glass was super. No, it was like the top was thin, but the bottom was super thick. Yeah, and he didn't know that. So when he barreled through it on the motorcycle, it completely knocked him off, and he hit the ground, and that fucked him up pretty bad too.
Oh, and I bet he flew through
man,
the top.
Tom, bro.
Yeah, a total accident. No one knew, but it's because when they were laying the sugar glass, it was just somewhere, some random area in the mall. Then when they poured it, the floor was at an angle and no one knew.
Oh,
dude, that sucks.
But yeah, no, he did get his ass kicked making
He got his ass beat.
Tom, you earned your stripes, bro. Swear
Yes,
to God.
yes, more ways than one, you know. And he was still able to pull off all those special effects, even like limping around and you know staying up.
That brought up some of his zombie performances. As he was able to limp around. Those were all real limps, and you could feel them, especially in 4K. You can...
Flyboy, I think, had the best limp at the end of the movie. Like, oh my God, you're actually rolling your ankle every time you walk. Holy
I know.
crap.
That was fucking dope. He did a really good job.
That was all him too.
That elevator.
Because when he went to Romero and he was asking him like, "Hey, how do you want me to play a zombie?" That was one thing that Romero kind of never really did to people. He never really told them how to play their zombie. He told them how not to do it. He would tell them, "Don't do this, but you can do anything you want otherwise." Yeah, like basically like that.
Don't jitterbug the whole time. No jitterbugging zombies. No zoot suit riot. All of that.
Flyboy was like, "Can I do this?" He was like, "Oh yes. That's perfect." You know, with the still holding the gun, you know, like by his fingertip and stuff.
Yes. That was so logical. He was handicapped by the injuries that he sustained while he died. It was so fucking brilliant. Like the gun stuck to his hand, the limp.
That was all him, though. That was all that actor. That's what he came up with and pitched it to Romero. Like, I want to play it like this, and he said, "Sure."
Good actor.
Yeah,
his
I don't care what you're doing. I'm just like saying.
His eyes going up in the other direction and not being able to move. Like he was so fucking brilliant and stunning to look at. I loved it, and I want to show it to my kids and terrify them for the rest of their lives and show them this is what art is.
Unfortunately, that actor just passed away either this year or last, and
I saw that.
Yeah, he hadn't been able to make it out to like any of these cast reunions that they've been doing the past couple of years. He's like one of the only principal cast members I never got a chance to meet.
Oh,
I'm sorry, dude.
I mean, it is what it is. But I met Romero. Literally here in Michigan 1 month before he passed away. Like I met him in like June of 2017, and then he was gone by July. I got him to sign my Dawn of the Dead. I have a picture, you know, and so that was really, really cool. I mean,
don't blame yourself.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't feel accountable.
Somebody said it.
I remember you posting that when we first met, and I went, "Oh, that is so cool!"
Yeah, that was. I mean, he's one of my favorite directors, you know, and Dawn of the Dead is one of my favorite movies. So to actually meet him, he definitely looked like he was in rough shape, but no one really knew he was sick. He hadn't told anybody yet.
Yeah,
that's too bad.
Like
and
Norm
from what
Macdonald.
I understand,
Yes,
everybody said nothing but wonderful things about him, and just what a kind and generous dude he was. I wish I could have met him.
He was very open to creativity. You know, like that's one of the things that I think why these movies last is because it's okay, Tom, I'm going to put you in charge of like the zombie makeup, the zombie deaths, all this stuff. You know, he basically would write the script and that was the blueprint. But then once you get to set, then you can just start improvising and having fun. And that's where he just sort of, you know, allowed his cast and crew to be creative too. And he would just put all that in the movie.
Tom, that's the Addison Bennett style now.
Yes. I mean, well, I copied it from him.
Yeah. Well, he's gone now, so it's yours.
That's mine.
Where the bikers roll in, literally, and start hacking and slashing at all the zombies, that is where, like, they just threw the budget at Tom and said, "Go play, son. Go play."
Pretty much.
And it was wonderful. All the machetes to the heads, the hands getting chopped off, the heads getting
the intestines everywhere.
That was beautiful. You're like, dude, how much small intestines does one man fucking have?
Yeah.
That's
a
all.
Lot. I don't know if you've heard this, but it's a lot.
Yeah. Those
it's like miles or something.
Those guts when the bikers are being ripped apart. Savini actually was displeased with the final effect because they had gotten like sheep's intestines from, you know, a local butcher, but they made the mistake of really cleaning them, like running them underwater, cleaning them out. So that's why they're like shiny and look brand new when they're being pulled out instead of like gunky and gross.
But you can tell what they are, and that works.
Yeah,
I get his point of view.
Right, he wanted them to look gnarly and nasty because they're supposed to be internal organs being yanked out of a person's body. Yeah. But they were
not just regoop them.
I don't know. They just they were pre-washed and they came out looking too clean for his taste.
Kevin was looking for a new liver anyway, so
I would have asked for an intern and been like, "You cut yourself now."
The crew still made haggis with them later. So.
Sure, yeah, they definitely could have.
Go kill us a pig.
But I never thought they looked like too clean or whatever. I don't know. They just look like guts to me.
Yeah, right.
Yes, yeah, I wouldn't know what the guts are supposed to look like.
Right,
so
exactly.
I would be like, hey, that doesn't look like what intestines look like. This is what it looks like.
Well, the reason he knows is because he served in Vietnam as a photographer. So
yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
No. That's just how he started to learn about special effects and stuff like that, where he was like, well, if my effects don't look as good as the real thing, then I have failed. But it's like, hey, man, but your average person doesn't know what the real thing looks like, so I think you're okay.
But I'm going to show you, motherfucker.
Yeah.
I had to see it, and so do you now.
Yeah.
Jeff left. He's had enough of this.
But that's why Savini was supposed to do the special effects for Night of the Living Dead, but the reason why he couldn't was because he was serving.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that he was a veteran.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So then when he came back home, he was like, damn it, I missed out on Night of the Living Dead. But then when Romero came back around and was like, hey, I'm going to do a sequel, start thinking of ways to kill people. And that told Savini.
I do every day.
Yes. This is my second go around. So that's why he went so hard, was because he missed out on Night, but he was definitely going to put all of his effort into Dawn to make it such a fantastic movie.
Night
and
was
happy
cool.
Veterans Day out there to all of our veterans out there.
Like Tom Savini.
Yes.
Who served on this movie. He actually got more injuries in this movie than Vietnam.
Right.
That's probably true.
Got out of Nam relatively unscathed. Describes it as a pretty good time.
He was traumatized in his head, but I think his body was unscathed. It was going to the Monroeville Mall in Pittsburgh and jumping off the balcony. That's what
did all the damage.
That's what almost killed him. Could you imagine surviving Vietnam and then getting killed in a mall like that?
Yeah, while making a zombie movie.
I mean, it checks.
Yeah.
So my final judgment will be positive. I do like it. I again, I'm not always a fan of the man being the real monster, like the bikers are a cool little detour, but they could have had a little bit less time for me, for more zombies being a kind of a major threat, but it's still a positive judgment from me. Definitely great special effects. I think it's a good follow-up for Night, kind of a redo sort of Night. Like if we had more money, here's what we might have done.
Well, it's cool that it's not the same movie. You know what I mean? It's just not. Yeah. It's not just some regurgitated thing. It's we have a bigger budget. I have more to say, and we have a bigger location, and now we can show gore in color. Like, let's go.
Wait, I'm sorry. Before we go any further, we forgot to discuss one major in character. The fucking doctor that develops the eye patch halfway through the movie and is like telling people, I'm talking about
George.
No. The guy on TV who, dummies.
Yes, dummies.
Yeah.
He developed the eye patch. Are you saying he's the same guy from the opening segment of the movie, Kevin?
Yes, but he didn't have the eye patch, did he?
I think they're different guys. I think they're different people.
No. It's the same dude. He went into battle and got an eye patch. He got his eye.
Oh, he got patched up. Okay.
His eye bitten out.
That would, if I was giving a positive too, like we already left the good part, but the whole first 10 minutes of this movie is so fire. Like,
Oh
I
my
love
God, right.
everything about them being in the studio and everyone just like, you're supposed to be
edge.
filming a show, and why are there people around just booing you? Like, oh, they're the crew. Why are
Especially
they
the
just
crew.
booing?
Yeah.
Right,
It's the
like,
crew.
like, you work here. Shut up. Quiet on the set, jackasses.
I
People
did
are
not
being
remember
threatened.
that part, so I was like, okay, this is actually really interesting way to kick off a zombie movie.
Right, and
Like
then
you're
right into
already
the
in the middle
apartment.
of the crazy.
Right, and then right into the apartment building stuff where everyone's getting shot up and getting torn up. So, like, you know, I like the first 10 minutes of this movie of all that wild stuff more than I like the last, I don't know if it's last 10, but like the bikers running through, chopping up. I like the SWAT blowing everyone away and people in the news station arguing.
With the various cuts of the film, that opening is actually kind of different in some of these cuts because the longer director's cut that made it to the Cannes Film Festival, there's no music in the beginning. The Goblin score was not finished yet. So that whole opening has no score and it's just people arguing. But then if you watch the theatrical version, it has that Goblin score and it emphasizes the chaos, in my opinion.
I might have watched the director's end because I can't remember Goblin playing over that in the beginning. All I can remember is people arguing and shouting and talking.
Yeah, it's a whole different tone. It's a whole different thing.
Every time you guys say Goblin, I hear Dawkins. And it's messing me
Oh
up
my
inside.
God.
Sorry.
No, it's
a labyrinth thing.
It's an interesting note. It's an interesting thing to note that, like, yes, music score, it can amplify a scene and make it seem more tense and chaotic because in the theatrical version, the Goblin score is there, but in the Cannes Film Festival version, that score wasn't done yet. Not completely. So,
but a lack of score can do the same thing.
Right. That's exactly what I'm thinking is that I think there's I would have to watch the one with music, but I feel like the music would maybe put me at ease a little bit because it's what I'm used to with other movies where it's like, oh, music is kind of leading my mood. But when it was just stark quiet and them all arguing, bullshit, like that was more tense. Like, I think it's a natural reaction to people to kind of get tense around people shouting and arguing.
I mean,
at least if you grew up in my house.
I think it's up to just the audience taste in this aspect, but because I saw the theatrical version first, and so then when I saw the extended version, I was like, "Where the fuck is the Goblin score? Like, where's half the music in the movie? It's all missing." And it's just because it wasn't done yet. It wasn't completed. They were rushed to meet that Cannes Film Festival premiere, and so they just put out what they put out. But then Romero went back, added some Goblin score, trimmed the movie a little bit just for pacing reasons. Because the director's cut's about, 10, 15 minutes longer. And he trimmed all that out to make the movie just move at a quicker pace.
What specific scenes are in the extended that aren't in?
A couple. One is when Flyboy and Franny first take up, like they pick up Roger and they get to like the dock or something, and there's like a confrontation between SWAT teams, like, we're taking these boats, we're taking these supplies, and there's like there's a Mexican standoff that's completely excised from the theatrical version. And the actor who plays Captain Rhodes in Day of the Dead was in that scene originally. And so he was super bummed when that scene got cut for the theatrical version. And that's why Romero kind of made it up to him by like, hey, I'll cast you in Day of the Dead. I'll give you a lead. And I won't cut you this time.
Well, that also would have made it cool if they were the same character because it would have been.
It could be.
Issue. Yeah. If this is in fact all one incident, I'm assuming that Dawn of the Dead happens in parallel to Night of the Living Dead, but
it's also supposed to take place in the same
different places.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's suburban malls, and because you mentioned them flying over farm country, and I would kind of like assume that's like, somewhere down there could be, the farmhouse where Night of the Living Dead is happening.
It's all supposed to be connected because in real life too, the Dawn of the Dead Mall is like a half hour away from the Night of the Living Dead Cemetery, and those are all a half hour away from the underground mines and Day of the Dead. They're all within a half hour of each other in real life.
Dope. That's fucking rad.
I've been to the cemetery too.
In real life, like real life, this real life, or real life of the Dawn of the Evil of the Living Dead universe.
In Pittsburgh, if you go to Pittsburgh, you can make an afternoon of it if you really, or a day of it if you wanted to. Seriously, because I've done it.
Day of the Dead,
Day of the Dead, a literal day of dead, where you could go from the cemetery to the mall to the mines, all within like 90 minutes.
I'm down. Let's do it.
Pittsburgh,
all right, let's go.
Pittsburgh is a high recommendation from me.
Then we'll drift up to Crystal Lake.
Bring hot dogs, and I am totally down. And like nacho cheese Doritos, I am your guy. I'm your co-pilot.
But unfortunately, the mines are not—they're not accessible to the public. You have to.
Walmart bought them. Walmart just bought them, so they're
yeah. Walmart bought the mines.
Fuck in their storage.
They're loading it up with Dr. Thunder, baby.
But
Nothing
then
but child labor.
One of the biggest like surprises when you go to the Night of the Living Dead Cemetery is that the
pop out at you.
Well, the tombstone where Barbara and Johnny go, that's actually right in like the front of the cemetery. You can find that tombstone within 5 minutes.
Oh shit!
And it's I couldn't believe it. I was actually kind of disappointed. It wasn't like an Easter egg hunt. It's just like you pull in and like there it is, and you're kind of like, oh, Romero and crew were kind of actually lazy.
Guerrilla shooting, baby.
It was right in the front,
over there by the tree.
If they were lugging a real heavy camera around, like you said, why go super deep?
I know.
Also, in front of the camera would have given you the most headstones. I don't know how big the cemetery was, but I imagine
it is pretty big.
Oh, imagine though, if you were right there in the front, you would see the most headstones in frame.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But that was a big shocker when a buddy of mine and I made the trek out there, because we made a whole weekend of it. We were going to go to the Night of the Living Dead Cemetery, Dawn of the Dead Mall, and then once we like got to the cemetery, we were all excited, like, oh man, we're going to be spending the day here looking for this tombstone. And it's like, oh, it's right there. There it is.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, very anticlimactic.
Oh shit, there it is.
Finding Nemo. There he is.
He's been found. He was never lost. He's right there.
He's been found.
Now what do we do? Go get a hot dog.
But the mall still stands, not for much longer. The helicopter pad area, that had been there for a super long time too, up until about like 2 years ago. It's kind of a mystery, actually, like what happened to this area, this land. The guy who owned it would not sell it because he was making money off of these like reunion tours.
Right.
And there were offers. People were trying to buy this land, but he wouldn't sell. And then mysteriously it got burned to the ground. So it's like, I think the person who's been trying to buy the land had something to do with that.
That's fucked up. I'd burn their shit down too.
Yes. So
not that I've resorted
to be petty, the guy who owns the land apparently still refuses to sell, even though there's nothing there anymore.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Good for
Fuck
him.
them all.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. That's like the one spot I didn't get to check out on the tour, because that was a whole separate thing. Like, you had to go on a certain day at a certain time to check out the helicopter area, but I got to see everything else. But that no longer stands. It's all gone.
That sucks.
Put in a Romero museum,
Yeah.
There are certain icons in our landscape, in our country, where our films have been made that should be landmarks that have been destroyed, some justly, some unjustly, where you're just kind of like, fuck, that's messed up. Like King Kong at Universal Studios, they burned him down for insurance purposes. That's fucked up.
That was a hit.
The Amityville, it fucking was, and don't say it wasn't. They burned that shit down for insurance purposes and to build the new ride.
And I'm good with them tearing down the Amityville house. It was evil.
They didn't tear it down. They changed the windows and changed the address so Lukey Loos wouldn't come around. And I get that, but
I mean, it's still the same house. You can't replace.
It is still the same house, but it's not evil. It's not. The douchebag. I
saw a whole documentary on it.
I watched a bunch of them last month. Me and my girlfriend watched the shit. Fucking like.
It was called the Amityville Horror.
No, I mean yes. No, actually, I've got it right here. Is it going to show up on the? Here it is. My dog's knocking at the door. Amityville Horror or Hoax, and that came with the Amityville like whatever anniversary box set, the original with Thanos' dad.
Yeah, I've got that box set.
Yeah, I didn't like that one, but I enjoyed it.
I don't think it's a particularly good movie.
No, it's not.
I like the original one fine.
I like the sequel more.
I kind of like the Ryan Reynolds one a little bit. I like Ryan Reynolds going nuts.
I did that.
I only saw that one one time, one and done.
It's not that bad. Ryan Reynolds goes nuts.
Yeah.
No, I like that one.
You don't get to see Ryan Reynolds do something different all that much, especially nowadays.
Oh, sure.
It was better than the original, is as best as I can give it. But it was all bullshit anyway, so it's all like however you want to tell that story. I don't know, golly, it was not all that. And now I've lost myself. And that's my first 0 point, which is what, an hour and 46 minutes in. Jeff, that's
yep. Maybe we should wrap this up there, Kevin. If you got you want to give everybody your final judgment,
dude. You know what? Gosh, I didn't think I was gonna like this movie. I didn't. I'd seen maybe like 5 minutes here and there, or of this or Day of the Dead. I didn't know which it was, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it. I didn't know if it was gonna be one of those flicks where it's like, oh, that's pretty good for the time. Because Night of the Living Dead, you're like, that was pretty good for the time. They didn't know what zombies were. This was the first movie.
They called them ghouls.
Yeah.
Right.
And at this point, yes, they do call them zombies. I thought that didn't happen until Return of the Living Dead. So I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. But I watched this for the first time.
Is that because that guy knew voodoo, though? Like he was familiar with the concept of voodoo, so he was familiar with the concept of zombies.
Oh, possibly. You know what? I missed that. That is a possibility, yes, because he's talking about his dad, the things that his dad talked about, the hell being full and people being shoved out. Get out. Go walk out there. But you know what? Golly, after having seen the Snyder movie and thinking for the last 20 years, well, that's pretty good. This movie kicks that movie's ass so far out of town. I would give this a perfect 10. Like this is a really, really good movie. I stopped playing my games to focus on it today. I stopped working to focus on it today. I really liked it. I'm going to go buy it tomorrow. This was a dope flick.
Right on. And this is the only zombie movie from Romero's trilogy I ever watched fully, like years and years ago. And Night of the Living Dead was almost a first-time watch for me last week, and Day of the Dead is going to be a first-time watch for me next week, because I've only seen about 35 minutes-ish of that.
I would say definitely check out Land. You don't have to really watch Survival. That one's kind of that. But
Survival's the one I got back here, and I'm like, yeah, it's okay.
That one's not that important. It really isn't. But
I don't know if I bought that one.
Land is pretty cool. Land has, Dennis Hopper in it and John Leguizamo. It's good casting, and it's interesting to see Romero play with like that much money. But what comes with that is also less creative control. So it's this independent filmmaker trying to make a movie in this huge pond that he's like not accustomed to. But I still think what he's trying to do comes across. What I don't like about it is how much fucking CGI is in the movie and how much green screen there clearly is.
That's what I'm worried about with that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
The green screen and the gore, the CGI gore does not age well, and it didn't even particularly look that good in 2005 when it came out. But there are some cool practical stuff. You got to watch the unrated version though, because the R-rated version is cut to shit.
Gotcha.
And so watch the unrated version. There's still some cool practical stuff in it, and you may recognize a certain cameo.
Quentin Tarantino?
No.
I know what you're talking about.
Mr. Tom Savini reprises his role as this biker, and but it's very quick and it's very, but it's cool.
Okay.
It's cool. It tethers every movie together.
Nice. And what would you score Dawn of the Dead? You said it's one of your favorites, but if you had to give it a score, what would you give it, Addison?
Oh, I'd give it a 10. Easily.
How about you, Maynard?
Oh, I don't want to be the Transylvanian judge. I don't know that I would give it a 10.
An 8? Would you give it an 8?
I could probably see giving it an 8 in this room, but
I didn't see the titties, and I wanted to throw my panties at this movie. I really liked it today.
It's a 4K.
You would give it an 11. I also don't remember. I don't remember the titties. I really like Night of the Living Dead. I really like the original. I like the original more than this. I do. I like the like more of the social dynamics because there's more characters of what happens in Panic.
Sure.
I get a little bored watching Night of the Living Dead sometimes.
It is slower.
Well, it's slower.
Yeah,
There's just so many static shots of watching a TV. So it's just like, okay, I get it. I don't need
that. It's all in the middle.
Yeah. It kind of screeches to a halt about halfway through because then you're just watching your TV. You're watching characters watch a TV. And so it's just kind of like, all right, I get it.
But that TV is their only way to see what's going on. So it's kind of their exposition machine that they need.
Yes,
to show them what's going on.
It's the lost continent. We're hiking up a mountain for like an hour.
They're not mountain climbing. There's interesting things happening on the TV where they're discussing shooting people in the head.
Yeah.
So I don't mind that kind of stuff. I feel like the characters infuriate me more in Night of the Living Dead, like, and to a point where they're supposed to. Right,
Yeah.
but they're supposed to. You're supposed to be like, God damn, I hate you. You're making everything so hard. Like,
nobody's likable. Yeah.
Right. So you've kind of got that man as the real monster in there too, where you're like, God damn it, you're just as bad as the zombies here too. I think this one might go to 8, largely on the practical effects. Like it's just so strong practical effect wise. But like, as far as you said, you called it kind of improv, and it's like, yeah, there's a lot of points in this movie where they're kind of just meandering, and you're like, they're kind of like making it up as they go along, which can be a positive, but it's also like, where are you going with this? I do really like the effects though, like I said, and I do find it to be an interesting follow-up because of how it kind of redeems some of the choices made in the first. That said, I like the first because everyone dies. Like like at the end of the day, this is a zombie apocalypse, and like they're all going to die. Like they're not, that helicopter doesn't take them anywhere else but where they go to die later. They're going to die later somewhere else when they run out of bullets or they run out of food or they run out of something, but they're going to die. So and I think that
keep in mind that he did not intend to make a sequel. It was never. He didn't have this grand scheme of I'm going to make a trilogy of films. He made Night of the Living Dead. It was his foot in the door. It was his production company's first feature. He didn't want to be a horror director. He just wanted to make films. That's where he and like John Carpenter have a lot in common. Is John Carpenter just wanted to make films. He wanted to make westerns, but he was born in the wrong era. Same thing with Romero. Obsessed with westerns. But he created the zombie subgenre, and so people just wanted zombie movies. If you look at his filmography, the number of movies he made between Night and Dawn, he made like 3 or 4 movies, but they were all bombs. until Argento stepped up and was like, I'm going to give you a blank check. Give me another zombie movie. And so Dawn just kind of came from, all right, I mean, I'll just go nuts. I'm going to spend this guy's money.
Crazy's,
I did not know that.
Crazy's
That's fucking
between
awesome.
Is Crazy's one of those three? It's got zombie-like leanings.
Right.
Like,
but it was a
the remake is awesome, Bo.
Yeah, I think the remake of Crazy's is actually better than the original. But,
I agree.
His other movies, he had made two others. One was called There's Always Vanilla, which is an awful, boring drama.
It's about ice cream.
I fall asleep every time I try that movie.
It's about going into the fridge and opening a carton of Neapolitan ice cream.
And
the chocolate and the strawberry is gone.
Yes, and you just sort of there's always
vanilla.
Yeah. But that's a very boring film. And then he did a horror movie after that because he realized, okay, I have to stick to genre. So he tried another one, Season of the Witch, which not Halloween 3. This one's just called Season of the Witch. It's not starring Nicolas Cage either. But this is another very boring movie. And so that one bombed.
Is it like a old time witchy, like witch trials type?
I mean, honestly, to be honest with you, I've only ever seen it once, and I don't remember much of it. It just kind of...
It's not memorable. I've seen it only once, too.
It sucks.
I couldn't explain it.
It sucks. And so then he did The Crazies, which has more action, but it's still not a very good movie. And so when you have 3 bombs in a row, and you're just kind of like, well, what do I do here? And then this magical Italian producer shows up at your doorstep waving a check.
He's magical?
He's magical.
I got money.
Magical because he has money.
That's true.
But so then that's where Dawn comes in. It's basically just, hey, I know that you're struggling. You're a talented filmmaker, but you got to make another zombie movie because all these other ones, they're not working out for you. You got to do something else. Or you got to go back to where you started. You got to do another zombie film.
And he wasn't wrong because he's really good at this shit.
Argento kind of saved Romero's career because he was struggling out there. These other movies that he was making, they were not good.
But when you say save his career, I mean, he does this. He does do Day, but I know Day doesn't do that well. He does Land. Land doesn't do that well. Does he make much of a career?
There's other movies in between.
But aren't they kind of duds too?
Not Creepshow.
Oh yeah, you're right. Creepshow's good. Creepshow's a solid one. Yeah, you're right.
Creepshow's in there. He did. I mean,
did he do part 2?
No, he didn't. Want. By the time they were doing part 2, he had moved out of Pittsburgh and went Hollywood. So in the late '80s, early '90s, Romero did like Monkey Shines.
I didn't know that.
I think we rented that one.
Monkey Shines is okay. There's The Dark Half, which is like that one's not that good either. It's another Stephen King collaboration.
I kind of like that one.
It's okay,
but it was made for TV, but it was fun.
The Amusement Park.
But yeah, the
Night
Amusement
Riders,
Park.
Tales from the Dark Side.
Tales from the Dark Side was awesome.
Tales from the Dark Side was good. Night Riders was fine.
Yeah, actually, I can't count Night Riders. I haven't seen it, but I mean, obviously, I don't think it was a success, though. I don't.
No, it was not.
No, I don't think he made much money.
I would say this is his magnum opus.
Yeah. Well, he also did Martin. Martin was a
Martin,
avant-garde kind of experimental vampire film.
Oh, the black comedy show.
And yes, he was responsible for Martin. He discovered Martin Lawrence.
Excellent.
I was gonna say, wasn't he kind of racist? I mean, that's cool and all, but like
Martin Lawrence.
Yeah.
Romero? I don't think about that.
No, Martin Lawrence.
Yo tengo un gato en los pantalones for sure.
I'd have to check that.
No, unfortunately, because Romero did the 3 zombie movies, he did get stuck and resented being the zombie guy for a super long time.
That sucks because he's
that's how he almost got Resident Evil.
Right, he almost got Resident Evil. That was going to be his big Hollywood break in like 1999 or something, but that didn't come to fruition. They couldn't come to an agreement. It was a combination of because he had spent time watching somebody play the first Resident Evil game for PlayStation and wrote a screenplay based on the gameplay of Resident Evil. But when he turned his script into Capcom, they were basically like, all you did was adapt the game. We don't want you to do that because the game already exists. So go back to the drawing board. Romero was pretty much just like, well, fuck that. I already just watched hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of gameplay to adapt what I thought what you wanted. What do you want? And so he just left. He left the project.
There's a good documentary out there from Brandon Salisbury who
yes, that's where I got my information from.
Right, yeah, George A. Romero's Resident Evil.
Right, we did reach out to Brandon. We're still waiting to hear back. He might join us on a future.
It's an interesting
may or may not join us on a future episode, but that is a great documentary. I love it.
And that movie would have been Romero's zombie film of the 90s because he did one every decade. And
well, he almost got The Mummy too. And boy, did Stephen Sommers go off the rails with that one too. So
even though he didn't direct the Night of the Living Dead remake, that is his screenplay, and he was on set as a producer for a lot of it.
Oh, was he?
Yes,
that's cool.
Much to the chagrin of Savini, because that's when Savini sort of realized, oh, I'm just sort of a placeholder. I'm not really
in charge of this.
Yeah, not really in charge of this because Romero is. He wrote the script. He's the producer. He's standing over there. He's breathing down my neck, telling me like what I can afford to do, what I have time to do. So that's why
he told me I had to put Goblin in the soundtrack.
Yes.
George Romero became everything he didn't like. He became Dario Argento.
Yeah. You
either die as George Romero or you live long enough to become Dario Argento.
And if you live even longer, you become Asia Argento.
I mean, that's probably not
a fantastic cheese.
Yeah, pretty much that's how Romero suffered through the 90s, basically just having projects given to him and taken back away. Funding falling through, this and that. Or he even made movies that just didn't get wide distribution. He made that movie Bruiser in the year 2000, and that just went straight to DVD.
Two Evil Eyes.
Yeah, that was another one that people just didn't really even know that he was a part of that. And so yeah, he just kind of got kicked around a lot. His career just wasn't quite what he wanted to do. He didn't want to just be the horror guy, but he wasn't being given any opportunities otherwise.
That sucks.
Underrated director. I thought he was pretty good for what he tried. Not everything always like succeeded or worked out, but at least he was trying.
Yeah.
To do something new and something different. But
he was also such an independent filmmaker that he just, I don't think, fit the Hollywood system. Yeah. He couldn't.
Yeah, no.
You have this creative guy, this independent guy who's accustomed to his filmmaking style, because when he was making movies in Pittsburgh, he was doing it his way. But so then in the mid 80s, after Day of the Dead comes out and bombs, he packs up his shit and moves to Hollywood, but they treat him even worse, and
because Hollywood's shit.
Oh, it was going to imagine being treated bad in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Meat grinder.
He thought that the Romero name could get some movies made, but it just didn't work out that way.
He was
they thought it was Caesar Romero.
Yes. Yeah, I know he also tried to do other Stephen King adaptations, but he was basically just kind of like, I've done that. I did Creepshow. I'm tired of just doing the same thing. And so it was other people that put him in a box.
And that happens. Hollywood is fucking horrible for that. Like this is your lane. We decided this is your lane. This is what you're good at. This is what we're going to put you in.
See George Romero's drama? You said, There's Only Vanilla Left was bad.
It was bad, yes.
No reason to think the next one might not be either.
True. Very true. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't. I mean, I've seen all those movies, but I never really did a deep dive on them or listened to the commentary or anything like that because it's just like, ugh. But it would be interesting to sort of figure out or find out, like, why did you do this? You know, what was the point of this? Did you see commercial value in this? Because I certainly don't. These are boring.
Maybe you can get it for a Roast Masterpiece Theater.
Yeah, well,
check out the rights on There's Only Vanilla Left or whatever the fuck it was called.
Yeah.
Who ate all the strawberry?
What's funny too is that's not even the original title of the movie. That's the title they changed it to from something else, even more vague and boring.
So it really had to do with Neapolitan?
No, Tim.
It's all about the vanilla, bro.
It was extract.
Oh, my bad.
No, I don't know.
It's basically like, There Will Be Blood, but entirely about vanilla extract.
There will be vanilla
geysing out of the sky.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, then. I'm down with that because I like chocolate chip.
Passed away. That's when I sort of went into his filmography and I started filling the gaps. But then I quickly realized, oh, there's a reason why no one talks about these. Is because they're just not very good.
Right. Which is too bad. But I mean, I would think that's, if he had gone out there and released banger after banger after banger, eventually he would get a blank check to make whatever movie he wanted. And maybe he would do another vanilla crap thing and everyone would hate it.
Yeah.
But see, John Carpenter didn't even get that.
No, he didn't. I would say that he got kicked around even harder in Hollywood than Romero did.
I mean, he got to do
he lived longer.
Escape from New York, which is a very different movie. It's not a horror movie at all. It's an action movie, and they even let him do another one for no reason. Escape from LA,
yeah. But past that, has he been able to do anything big budget? Like that was the last thing that he really did where they really were like, here, have some money, make a horror film, make scary things.
I mean, whenever I'm thinking of
Ghost of Mars is a pretty big budget movie, but it was a terrible film.
You're wrong. Ghost of Mars is amazing. Love Ghost of Mars. Love Ghost of Mars. One of my favorites. Why are there ghosts on Mars? Someone tell me. Why the hell are there ghosts on Mars?
I lost out when I got to Ghost of Mars.
I like vampires to an extent. Like I think vampires is kind of cool as like a vampire western. But
if you want creativity, though, Ghost of Mars is like peak. Who thinks of this? Like, there's the guy who throws that saw thing like a freaking boomerang. It cuts her head off,
and it just like doesn't even cut off. It falls.
Right. It just like it's terrible. It brought us Jason Statham. I will not sit here for any Ghosts of Mars bashing. I love Ghosts of Mars. I might go watch Ghosts of Mars.
Natasha, your ass out of here then. No.
I mean, that was basically the movie that stopped his career for like some time because that's
too bad.
I think maybe he did that on purpose. Handle Dead Space personally. He's been begging for it for years. He wants to do it. He's motivated to do it.
Who, Carpenter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that dude's done directing. He's playing video games.
He loves Dead Space.
Basketball.
I mean, but similar to the Resident Evil thing, it's like we have Dead Space. It's a video game. It can't be more interesting to watch than it is to play. It just can't be. Like
I got some animated movies up here that would disagree with you.
Well, the first one. I don't know about the second one. Aftermath.
Well, that's what I was about to say.
I'm hearing some different disagreement from Kevin, and
the first one was really good.
So
the books are great too. He could always adapt the books too.
See, I haven't read the book.
I don't think he wants to make movies anymore. I think he's had enough of getting up early and
he's kind of hinted if he did one more, it would only want to be Dead Space. He doesn't want to do anymore. Yeah. And they're going to do another Thing sequel if you haven't heard. And he's I've already as long as the check cashes, I'm okay. It's like
there was just an AI teaser trailer, and they haven't actually filmed any.
No, see, he made he made a comment. He was at a convention a few weeks ago. I watched it, and somebody asked him because it was just a series of fan questions about all of his movies that he made, and someone just asked like at a Q&A, hey, would you ever consider making a Thing sequel? And his answer was totally sarcastic, John Carpenter, like, yeah, we're working on it right now. it was a sarcastic answer that was taken literally. There's no Thing sequel.
That's a good
We already
thing.
got one Thing sequel, and none of us liked it.
The remake,
it's a prequel.
2011?
It's a prequel.
Yeah.
If they hadn't used CGI, it might have had.
It might have been all right.
And you know
But,
they shot that the CGI that was reshoots. They really did shoot practical effects, but they didn't fucking use the footage.
Okay, then it has to be out there. Then why isn't someone released there's a practical effect cut out there?
They should have done that on the Blu-ray.
Universal doesn't care. They don't care.
They don't have money. They're allergic to money.
Well,
Universal sucks ass.
Universal
and Sony are like bubblegum.
The Thing remake, regardless. You know, like not that many people cared about it even when it came out, regardless of the CGI. So I just don't think they see any commercial value in that.
I want to see how they've treated a lot of franchises due to that.
Same thing happened to that Wolfman remake with Benicio del Toro. They shot a lot of
we're doing that. That's going on trial literally tomorrow night.
A lot of the scenes in that movie, those were reshoots too. Rick Baker really did do practical effects, but they didn't do any of that.
And so none of it's in the movie? Because I saw Rick Baker credited for practical effects, and I was watching the movie. I'm like,
where is it?
I'm like, which is it? Shit.
No.
Damn. You're
like I've seen Thriller and that shit was good.
Tomorrow. Oh no. You're fucking
you evidence to light.
Right, yeah, exactly. What you shot over Rick Baker's work? Because I was like, where was it?
Baker got jacked on that motherfucker.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like this motherfucker did Thriller, and you're gonna fucking CGI over that.
He won an Oscar for An American Werewolf in London.
Yeah.
And so that's why he was hired for the Wolfman remake. But when the studios they saw his footage and they were like, okay, whatever, we don't care. People want CGI. It was their decision. So they scrapped all of his practical effects work. They still paid him and gave him credit in the movie.
Yeah.
None of his work is on screen. None of it.
Right. Okay. Because I saw his name in the credits. I literally watched the movie like yesterday.
I mean, he probably did like the practical, like the makeup of when they're like wolves at the end. But you know the transformation sequences.
When they're fighting.
When they're fighting, and it's basically just the movie Wolf with Jack Nicholson, and But
that was a better movie. I'm just throwing that out there.
I would rather watch Wolf.
Yeah,
but no, they did do practical effects, but it wasn't used.
Wow, damn it!
Wow, that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
I'd almost watch Wolf Cop.
I wanted to like the Wolfman so much. Like I was so pumped.
I did too. I was championing for it. Like Benicio del Toro is a good choice.
Yeah.
There was some awesome casting. Like, what are you fucking doing here? And then years later we get like Nosferatu by Robert Eggers, and we get Guillermo del Toro doing freaking Frankenstein, which is like, my God, this is what I'm talking about with classic horror movies coming back.
They just weren't ready for it back then.
No,
I got
problems with both those movies, but
I mean, no, they're not perfect, but they're good.
Nosferatu is probably the movie I've rewatched the most since it came out. I've watched it like 4 or 5 times.
I like Nosferatu more than I like Frankenstein.
About it. Well, Frankenstein came out literally last week, so I'm sure I'll watch it again. But I have a bunch of problems with the story of Nosferatu. Like as far as the
story, I get that.
Right. Like it's like, so you've got to choose between your husband or your supernatural rapist, and like you seem really into your supernatural rapist. Like like you're that, and
Frankenstein felt the same damn way, dude. Frankenstein
We're-
felt the same damn way. Oh, I have a beautiful husband and his brother who's interested in me, but no, I want the dude who is totally dead.
Right. I mean,
something about dead guys.
So Elizabeth is
one of my favorite Farrelly Brothers movies. But I know the book has Frankenstein being like relatively intelligent and stuff, but like,
he's very intelligent.
I don't know that I love that on screen. I don't know if I just don't know that's the Frankenstein for me. I like so to me it's not a bad movie, but I didn't like it. I like Boris Karloff Frankenstein. I don't want Frankenstein thinking a lot.
Have you ever seen the one from the
talking.
90s directed by like Kenneth Branagh?
Right, with
dope.
That's all
dope
right.
flick. Oh, all right, my ass. It was awesome.
See, I've avoided it because I think it's also like Smart Frankenstein, and
It is, yes.
Yeah,
it's right in the middle. He's smart, but he's savage.
You know, it's Robert De Niro, it's Helena Bonham Carter, but the problem is that the budget is big and it's a very like loud movie. You know, it's just like they had money to burn, and so he went to town, and that's where I sort of don't like that stuff, is because it's just like this is not. It shouldn't be this big and loud, energetic, and it should be quieter. Like Frankenstein works better when it's quieter.
And also, I don't think the monster in the book. I don't think the monster gets like half an act to tell his story. You know, which is basically
he had the whole last
Frankenstein.
act.
Yeah. Right. And, you know, but also it's like, let me tell you my whole goddamn life story. No, tell me about the monster outside killing my men. Get to the chase, Dr. Frankenstein. Like, there's a monster outside. Well, my mother was pregnant. God damn it, shut up.
Well,
my opinion is
the book's a little bit of both.
Super quick is if
Man,
this gets
like
Guillermo del Toro at the Mountains of Madness on Netflix with the budget he wants, I don't give a shit, because that's a movie he's been pining for 20 years.
Yep.
A story I love. Again, can you render it on screen very interestingly?
Maybe. Maybe. I'd like to see him try.
It might be worth a shot.
I mean, really, that story is traveling along an empty Arctic vista, hitting a really big ice wall, going in and finding an empty, giant structure, which might look cool if they can render it practically, but if they use CGI, will look stupid. There's some penguins bumping around, and then maybe the last 10 minutes you'll get a monster, and like it's not a super interesting story.
Well, I'm sure he'll add his own stuff, you know, his own adaptation.
They tried to do that with The Hobbit.
Yeah,
right.
Then he got
well.
So
if you're gonna add, it depends what you're gonna add and from what. I mean, I guess if you're gonna toss in some other stuff from, I think it'd be more interesting to do like a Lovecraft anthology film, where because like Mountains of Madness would be interesting for like 30 minutes, but like I mean, Whisper in the Darkness is a better story. I like Whisper in the Darkness a ton. They already did a great Color Out of Space, but I would watch another Color Out of Space.
Oh, that's right.
I like Nick Cage's Color Out of Space quite a bit.
I like Mandy.
Oh, I would recommend it.
I actually haven't seen that one. I've seen Mandy though.
It's different. Color Out of Space.
I'm sure it is.
Different.
I saw the trailer years ago, but
my only problem with Color Out of Space is, of course, in the story, it's a color no one's ever seen before, ever. And in the movie, it's like kind of purplish. And it's like, but how do you create a color no one's ever seen? It's, you know, the whole concept of it only works on paper.
Right.
Sparkles.
Dunwich Horror would be another good one to toss in there. You know, Shadows over Innsmouth has been done in like Dagon, but you could do that again.
Call Cthulhu.
Call of Cthulhu you could do. There's that pretty good one from the early 2000s they did in black and white. And I think the monster's done in stop motion too. And I'd say you got it with that. Like that's it's done in like a 1920s silent film style.
I've not seen that.
Neither have I.
I'm fucking intrigued as shit.
Yeah. It's not very long either. It's like it's just only a little over an hour and stuff.
All right.
Okay.
I just started reading Lovecraft early this year, and I stopped for like the last 7 months. I need to get back on it.
The Outsider is a great one. That's one of his early ones. The Outsider is really good.
I
would say it's kind of a hack pat thing now, but that's only because so many things have copied it since then.
I started with the short stories, and I could not tell you which was the last that I read, or what the title of the last that I read was. But
Which House is good.
They've all been so fucking phenomenally good. Where it's like, you're like, oh, okay, I can see where Clive Barker gets all of his ideas. This is fun. This is cool.
He's he's a writer who has obviously a lot of interesting ideas. He's not a particularly good writer because he's very wordy. So he writes in this like, I'm a professional writer, 1920s, you know, so I've got to use big words and like, and you're like, just get to the monsters.
Yeah. Yes, that.
But Mountains of Madness is cool, but I think it's so mood that people will think it's dull if you really render it from the page into a film.
I mean, there's a reason why he's never been able to get funding for it, because people just don't believe in the project. They don't think it can be done.
Curious Case of Charles Dexter Ward would be an excellent movie. That one would be good.
That sounds familiar. I've not read that one yet.
Yes, you'd remember. It's like one of the kind of novellas. It's like 100 pages or so. It's pretty solid.
Oh, sweet.
Well, guys, this might be a good time to wrap it up for the night. Addison, thank you for joining us. You want to let everybody know where they could find you and what you got coming up next on anything that you're working on.
Show us your shirt, motherfucker. Show us your shirt.
Mine? It's a House of 1,000 Corpses. It's House of 1,000 Corpses.
I thought it was Psycho Ape.
No, I didn't wear that today.
No.
But this is cool too. I'm on like Facebook, Instagram. It's just my name. Psycho Ape is on Tubi for free now. That was a long time coming. Because Tubi no longer, they're not quite as interested in hosting these like low budget indie movies anymore. They sort of built their back, or they built their brand off the backs of indie filmmakers. But now when you submit your movie, they send you back an email that has like a long bullet pointed list of things that you have to change in order to get your movie onto their streaming services. And it didn't used to be that difficult. And now it's 3 strikes, you're out. You can submit your movie 3 times. And if you get rejected that 3rd time, you can never submit your movie again. So my partner Greg and I have been trying to get Psycho Ape on the Tubi for a while, but we got 2 strikes back to back. And so we were kind of like, all right, man, let's really focus here, because we submitted a 3rd time and they don't take it. We're not going to be able to do it again. Okay. So we did have to make some compromises, and we had to redo some of the audio for Psycho Ape 1, and we had to trim some stuff to adhere to their demands. So the Tubi version of Psycho Ape is not the director's cut. It's missing some stuff, but it's still on there. And we're in the process of getting Psycho Ape 2 on there. It's already been rejected once. And so we're back to the drawing board on that one. Well, but we're trying to get them on there. But I sell the DVDs and stuff on eBay and at conventions and things. So you can watch the uncut versions of both of those movies. Because when we were making the movies at the time, we were just making them. We didn't really think about like streaming services and getting things onto Tubi and all these different like, standards. We were just making this stuff. And so now we've discovered that like, oh yes, now that like physical media is like dying, and we need to get these movies onto streaming services. Now the streaming services have turned against the independents.
Are you still doing the eBay sales still?
Oh yeah. I got my eBay store up. Okay. Psycho Ape 1 and 2 are on there. My other stuff, Masterpiece Theater, Magnum Opus are all on there. I've got Psycho Ape trading cards and stuff are on there. All that stuff is available there. I go to Cinema Wasteland in April and October every year. That's my favorite con. And I always have something new. I try to have something new. I go to conventions like Days of the Dead in Chicago. I like that convention a lot, and I sell stuff there. All this stuff is out there. Just look up Psycho Ape, and you'll find a plethora of stuff on Google.
Get a signed banana.
Nice.
Addison signed a banana for me 5 years ago. I still have it.
I have signed plastic bananas at screenings of the films. I've gone down to Illinois twice for Psycho Ape, and then a double feature of Psycho Ape 1 and 2. And the theater, they provide like a dozen plastic bananas for me to sign. And they go and they throw the plastic bananas into the audience, and then they post the picture on Instagram and tag me, and it's just like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like that guy actually got one. Now they're gonna have it.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I have signed plastic bananas they're out there.
That's fucking cool, dude.
Shit is bananas.
I've when I go to conventions, sometimes I'll hit up a grocery store and I'll cover my booth with bananas, and it draws people over because they're just like, oh, what are the bananas all about? And it's a marketing ploy. You buy a DVD, you get a free banana, and you get sometimes drunk people. You know, they've been drinking all day and they're kind of hungry, and so like, okay, I'll buy the DVD for $15. I'll get a banana out of it, and so then I watch them walk around the convention eating a banana and then a beer in their hand, and it's just like, yeah, I'm responsible for that.
Good.
Hey, if it works, it works.
Beer and bananas. Who knew that they would pair so well?
They do pair well.
Jamaicans.
Yes, they knew. They were ahead of the curve.
Speaking of bananas, Rob, you want to let everybody know where they can find you at? What you got coming up next, outside of what you just told us earlier?
You selling bananas
now? No. Well, I'm selling that one that you signed 5 years ago. You can almost make out the signature still.
I should have used a different color Sharpie.
Yeah.
At 50 cents to the value on eBay.
So obviously host Reels of Justice. You can find us wherever you find podcasts. It's an unofficial or official movie court. So every week we have a guest come on. We pick a different movie. The guest is either prosecutor or defense. They take one side, and we argue whether the movie is guilty of being a bad movie. Which is,
I've been on there 3 times, I think, and I've lost twice.
You'll be on 4.
Hey, at least you won once.
I won once, but I felt like
I've lost a lot more than you. I could see appealing Return of the Living Dead too, actually, because
I think
that was like our 3rd episode. That was like our 3rd episode.
I was in on the ground floor, so I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Yeah. And we didn't either. And I have seen so many terrible movies with no heart and soul that the more I look back, I'm like, man, Return of the Living Dead 2 was it was funny and creative. It was
a valiant effort.
They had Elvis songs.
They spoof thrillers, y'all. Come on.
We have a different guest. So I know, like I mentioned, we're doing Wolfman. So that's going to be on in a week or so. After that, we did Weapons, the new horror movie, by that fellow who did Barbarian. That's a pretty interesting case. Yeah. And obviously Christmas will be coming up soon. So I think we have a couple of Christmas things. I think Batman Returns will be in there. I think Iron Man 3 will be in there. I'm pretty sure we're doing a head-to-head with sometimes when movies are kind of good, we'll put them against another good movie. So I think Batman Returns has to fight Spider-Man 2 for supremacy of superhero sequels.
That's actually kind of a tough one. That's a tough one.
Well, hopefully when we head-to-head, they should all kind of be a tough one. And honestly, even when we do people versus, it should feel a little 50-50. It should be like, there's some good and there's some bad. And so that's what I like about our show is nothing gets bullied. Like, no movie just gets slammed. You are assigned a representative who is there to talk about your movie being good. It's their, if they drop the ball, that's their fault. But we gave them the job, and they are there to say your movie's fucking great, or your movie is fucking awful. So everything gets a fair shake.
Look, all I have ever said is that Spider-Man 2 is a movie about fucking male impotence. That's all it is. Otherwise, it's got Alfred Molina, which is wonderful. Otherwise, it's a movie about impotence. I don't need that in my life at this age.
That's a point of view that needs it, though. There are some people who it's not his fault they didn't have confidence, So if Spider-Man comes up through with something, just eat more bananas, and that will get your blood sugar going.
Oh, that potassium!
Yes, it's gonna get your blood pumping. It thins the blood,
Could you imagine seeing Spider-Man web slinging through like Times Square with a banana in his hand?
That'd mess me
up.
I
can picture it now. Coming, Psycho Ape 3 coming soon.
He doesn't have a mouth hole. He's just jamming it into the mask, and like it's just all mushed.
Hey, you want to deal with bananas? You're about to get that with Jimmy Olsen as he tracks down Gorilla Grodd in the DC show that they're making about Jimmy Olsen.
I just read that, yeah.
Ugh,
so
I don't know why that's necessary, but okay.
None of us do. But Kevin,
no, they haven't figured out about superhero fatigue.
Oh, they will soon enough.
If they haven't picked up on it in the past 4 years,
I think audiences are dropping the hint pretty hard these days.
Right.
Doomsday will be the one to watch for.
No,
because that is not going to make its money back at all.
Well, I mean, they're really hoping that everyone will.
That's not going to
out.
I think Doomsday is going to mess over Marvel. I don't think it's going to mess over DC. It might, but I don't think so.
I mean, DC's got to figure out it. I mean, you know, after years and years of DC being like, we're going to do our own thing, we're going to do our own thing, they finally caved and are like, all right, we're going to do what Marvel did. We're just going to do it 15 years too late. Here's Superman. Here's Superman. Here you go. It's silly. He's dancing. He's having a good time. He's nothing like the Superman you know. Here you go.
Yeah. Well,
people liked it. So
it's more like Smallville, and I was okay with it. I was more okay with it than Snyder.
I'm not a super big fan of the Snyder ones either, but at least they were like, we're gonna try to be a serious tone universe and not be kind of just silly jokes. And it's like, no, now Superman's he's got this group of buddy superheroes and they're hanging out and they're hanging and banging and doing it. I do like Clark and Lois being together. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sure. You know, I'm cool with that. But a lot of that time, Superman's like sleeping in a prison half that movie. So.
Yeah, that's true.
I had the chant in the back of my head. Clark is sleeping.
Kevin, take us out of here.
All right. So otherwise, you can find us through the rest of the week here on the Suns and Shadows Network. Coming up next, we're going to be doing Mystery Science Theater 3000 coming up this Friday on, 9 p.m.
Nostalgia TV.
Nostalgia TV, yes. At 9 p.m. Pacific time, we're going to be talking about the Mike years, which I think is going to be from seasons, roughly 5.5 through 10. So we should be talking about those.
I just watched The Projected Man, which I think was one I don't think I had seen before or not very memorably. And that one was pretty funny.
Yeah,
is that the one that has the bold barbecue sauce? It's bold.
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah. I'd always seen the memes about that one, and I don't think I had known where it was from.
Those are hard to keep track of.
Usually, I just watch Hobgoblins.
When I did MST3K Motivation, people would ask me all the time, what was the episode that had this, and that? It's like, dude, you need to go to Annotated for that. That's not my
Yeah, there's a wiki out there where you could look up that stuff. So.
Yeah.
Leave Kevin alone.
Yeah, Kevin makes the jokes. Lynn has the fucking wiki, okay? I'm a fraud. Lynn's the real deal.
Shout out Lynn.
But that is what we are doing next. And then after that, you can catch us, of course, on Saturday night at Deadwire Live.
Yep. And Day of the Dead next week, everybody. And that should be a fun time. Make sure you go check out Addison and Rob Maynard at all of their networks and social medias. We will add those in the show after post because I did not know who was showing up tonight. So thank you both for joining us tonight. This was a fun time with Dawn of the Dead and some other movie discussions.
Thank you. Brief.
Yep.
And we will see you all on the next one. You all have a good night. We'll see you next.
The blackest eyes, the devil's eyes.
You will suffer an eternity for this.